You got one viewer.
It's me.
Well, I've got your stream up.
Soon gonna be 2 then.
And you just started hosting.
Why?
It just took me to your hosting person.
Yeah, I'm watching Fatality right now.
Yep. I was watching you for a second.
I don't even have anybody in my auto host settings.
Refresh. See
I'm
what
gonna
happens.
refresh and see what happens. Yes.
No, I see.
Oh, there we go.
No, I see me.
I
see
have
us.
you now. I have you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that was weird. Okie dokie, guys.
So we got everybody, except for
minus Kurt's
Kurt. Yeah.
Kurt's webcam. Isn't that cool though? The webcams.
No, I like it a lot. It really came together.
Yeah.
Other than the DM, Verk is on top.
That's right.
I mean,
Of the number of hit points, both held and dealt.
Yeah.
Is Kurt here?
Yeah.
Or...
I am here.
Okay.
Yeah, he just busted on his ass to try to.
Okay.
Right.
Is there a way to menu? No. How do I change? Can I? Nope. Nope.
I completely forget how I fixed it last time.
And am I listening through Skype? No, I'm muting everybody in Skype.
Yeah, I just muted Skype
I
altogether.
muted Skype altogether. Yeah.
I'm getting some It's just me.
How do I change teams in? No, that's invite friends. Forget how to change teams in tabletop.
You just left click your name, but you want to change colors to orange. I did it for you.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, now it's.
I got it.
Yep, there you go.
I forgot that gray can't interact with anything. Yeah, I'll do. Turn off auto scale. Oh, that's the menu. Da 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 da. My audio is mixed, right? Yeah. So while Kurt is working on this, does
I
anybody
think I
want to
figured
do
it
a
out. Hold on.
recap?
I'd rather hold off and see if he's. Are you
Okay.
like making progress, or are we at a standstill on it?
He said he
We
may have
are
figured it out.
success.
Kurt joined. Hey. Dude.
Hey, I see you.
Add. Guy source. Kurt. Oh. Kurt. Fun part is that you guys get to watch me manipulate this one.
See if I can crit Davros again.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that will kill him. That will be the end of him.
Just put him unconscious. It wouldn't, like, kill.
No, that's 0 wounds. You are dead.
Oh, really?
You are a dead
It's not like-
person.
It's not like D&D. You don't have a
No.
chance to recover.
You have vigor. That's what vigor is for.
All right. How's that look? How's it look?
Looking good.
Looks good.
All right, guys, we are live. Welcome
Cool.
to episode something of session 40.
Those are both the right number. So I'll start off with a brief recap, and then we'll get into it. So last session, we found ourselves in the world of madness, having escaped from the world of constellations. In the world of madness, you guys came across a number of disturbing sights. There were some little critters scurrying throughout a mostly rotted, abandoned forest. These critters were unnerving you in some way, but you couldn't quite figure out why, and you couldn't catch them. They were a little too slippery, so you couldn't examine them further. You saw the ruins of what was once a great building made of steel and concrete. Something you were pretty sure was either the Fairweather Mansion, the Fairweather Prison Complex, or perhaps something else entirely, but almost certainly bearing the name Fairweather, as has become one of the constants. Behind you, you found the well, wherein you had been your anchor point from porting from world to world, and also where Brianna had made her little nest. You guys opted to go investigate down the well after calling down there and finding, not surprisingly, the voice of another little girl. So you assume it to be the magical or in some way mimicking effect of the worm or some other terrible creature down there. You go to investigate. You guys found, actually, was last session the one where we had, it's been a while, I forget. Was it also where we concluded the combat with in Constellations?
Yeah,
Was that last session?
Last session,
It must have been.
like the
It was,
previous
yeah.
session,
Yeah.
we had we were running toward the portal that led us to here. So when we started our previous session, the one to this, it was us just getting to the portal and porting over here.
Okay. Anyway, so you guys went down the well. You found yourselves in this clearly man-made, hollowed-out system of tunnels, and you went to follow your only lead, which was this shimmering image of this young girl, who seems to walk over the mud and has maybe 7 or 8 feet of long blonde hair streaming around her. At the terminus of the corridor, you found a T-shaped intersection. You opted to go away from the little creepy girl towards what turned out to be a vast underground amphitheater populated by these blue flames, which seem to in some way be either the souls of the lost or maybe just facsimiles of them. Upon entering this arena, 2 of you failed your will saves. 1 of you succeeded. And Verk and Davros found themselves at odds, each of them picturing themselves as a different fierce warrior in some kind of underground pit battle. And Jonas, Fratz, finding himself as the mediator, trying to figure out what's causing this and how to get them to stop killing each other. Davros and Verk, you guys fought each other bravely with a couple cool key moments. Verk pulling off his rallying cry, now infamous rallying cry, and getting from that a bonus from kind of whipping the crowd into a frenzy and working that crowd. And Kurt scaled up a 60-foot wall and then dropped down for some pretty impressive sneak attack damage on Verk, though not nearly enough to overcome the back-to-back crits that Verk landed on him. So we find ourselves now in the middle of this arena battle with Verk, a relatively unhurt and towering over the... What are you at, 4 wounds, Kurt?
I think he was at like 8 or something. It was single digits.
I'm at 8. Yes, 8 left.
So not a lot. The pretty badly wounded Davros, while Jonas, it should be noted, did pull off a successful suggestion spell on Verk, trying to convince him that this battle something is wrong here. So Verk now has the idea in his head that something about this battle isn't right. So he has that suspicion to hopefully help him break free of this debacle. Let's finish this battle, and then I've got a couple rules I want to go over and a couple new things I want to add to the campaign. So without further ado, I believe we are... I believe it's Jonas. Is it your turn, I believe?
Oh, no.
I believe so. And then it goes Verk and then Davros. So Jonas, Verk is towering over the relatively crippled Davros, who just fell from 60 feet and landed a pretty decent hit on Verk. But he's not looking like he'll take another solid hit and stay standing. So
Yeah. Sucks to be you. What do I want to do? I would like to... I think I want to do something that's not like a pronounced action, like you know what I mean, like a spell or a character ability or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What's the likelihood that making a display of some sort would help pull these guys into, like Verk, for instance, who has this mild suggestion starting to wear at him that something's not right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously for Davros, he doesn't have that same perception yet, but like
Davros is also, I'd imagine, pretty keen to not be in this fight anymore. I'd suspect.
So could I? My fairy fire again? Yeah. Could I? I guess I'll fairy fire and bring back the form of callback to episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
I will create a fairy fire statuesque of who's the guy?
It was Morning.
Tony Danza. That's yes, Morning. So the Morning, the god of righteousness, and the other thing that I always forget.
The sun, righteousness, and the heavens.
Yes. Is it possible to, like, in a brilliant display, like, borrow light from these magical orbs or pyres? I forget how you described them exactly.
As more or less human-sized blue tongues of flame.
Okay, so could I use them a little bit?
Pitch me. I don't want to do. I mean, you've done with me before. Pitch me a thing. You tell me a thing you're going to do. Dan, I want to do this thing.
Dan?
And then I'll tell you how well we can do it, how much it'll cost you, blah, blah, blah.
This is what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to point at the closest, or a tongue of blue flame.
Which is this this little pawn here.
I want to send my fairy fire out to that one, and just flow through it, and if possible, fly around the room to fly through others, to eventually come back and rest in front of these guys, like probably here-ish. Whoops. In the form of, so almost like growing bigger and bigger. Like, not that it affects the blue flame, because that's somebody else's magic that's obviously there.
Yeah.
But that it looks like it's getting bigger and bigger as it comes around and turns into the form of morning.
Okay. That's a pretty tall ask, especially for a level 1 spell. Let's go ahead and look up the exact text of Fairy Fire. I'm not super interested in what the restrictions are for it, but you're asking to make an illusion and then not only have it move, but also grow in size and then take on a very specific shape. I will let you do that for the cost of 1 truth. Did you happen to take a glance at the document that I shared yesterday?
I did not.
Okay, that's all right. So I'll introduce that in greater detail after this combat, which I think should be done shortly. But you can see up top here, we've got 2 sets of tokens. If you want to go to the upper right, next to the tree up here.
Yep.
There are 3 stacks of 2, and then 1 stack of 3. The 1 stack of 3 is mine. It's the gem pool. You guys are going to share these other 6 completely. And no more are they going to be split 2, 2, and 2. And I'll let you spend one of those for right now, and we'll explain in a moment that exact system. So we'll go ahead and spend one. I'm going to give it to myself. I have now 4.
Yeah, this will be a good introduction. Yep.
Yeah. And as you call forth this magic, which you've cast a few times in your life, never for something like this, and you're kind of really doing this on the fly. You, maybe an hour ago in game time, summoned this golden statue of morning, right? Mm-hmm. And you were now trying to do it, which was at the time, I believe, the most potent magical display of your entire life. Is that fair to say? You're trying to do that now again, an hour later, and this time having it move around the room, fly from your own hands, and appear in hopefully the nick of time to stop this fight. So it's no small feat. You can feel as you attempt this, something just leave your body. There is a way of casting that you're not familiar with. Magic has, I think it's fair to say, come easy to you. You're a pretty charismatic guy. It's easy to convince people of the things you want to convince them of. You literally convinced 73 people to kill themselves in your name.
Let's not bring that up.
Yeah. And this is something that actually takes something vital from you. You feel a piece of yourself go out with this. And it is a little bit of your truth, of the way you view the world, of the things that you hold dear. You put a little bit of that into this spell. This fairy fire flows out of your hand like a little spark, like a firefly, just buzzing out of your hand. It lights onto the first tongue of blue flame and comes out like a little dragonfly. It then buzzes to the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, each time growing bigger and bigger until by the time it reaches the final tongue of flame all the way over on the left-hand side here, the circle. It's this roaring, diaphanous, 7-winged beast. It flies right through you, Verk, and Davros, and lands. I'll place the icon here. Use this this bishop, and lands with a flourish in a sea of sparks, as the now bright blue and gold image of morning, god of righteousness, the sun, and the heavens, in full view of Davros and Verk. Verk, it is your turn. You see this exactly as I have described.
I don't even know what to do or say from that. I mean, simply from the chain that felt like a sword.
Mm-hmm.
And then this, am I able to try to save, or I'm not sure what kind of a check it would be to.
I'd let you roll another charisma save to get out of this. Actually, no, I'm sorry, a wisdom save. That's
Okay.
just, again, you're puzzling through this intuitively, right?
Mhm.
Something isn't right. There's this force in front of me that wasn't there before. I should pause and take stock of this. So I'll let you roll a wisdom save, and because of Jonas' sustained display, I will let you roll it with advantage against
Okay.
DC 12.
Ooh. Second, guys. You good?
Huh?
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Whew, it was a good thing that you did that.
Yeah.
It is a 17.
Try to roll, if you can, in nearer to the center of the action so that Fratz's camera is on it.
Oh, sorry.
Or Fratz, if you want to try to follow it. But either way, it's fine. So we got here a 16 and a 2. Get these other dice out of here.
Try to roll not
16
crits
makes it.
against your teammates.
Yeah, right? Well, no,
Okay.
this is a good one. So with the 16, you blink, and with no fanfare, everything goes dark. You're in this dark, damp room. There's these flickering tongues of blue flame of nebulous shape, and there's a critically wounded Davros in front of you and a panting Jonas.
This is a test bit alert.
Do I realize what's going on with that I've been fighting Davros this whole time? 'Cause
Yes,
this chipmunk is
it's made
now-
immediately clear to you. He has these blunt club wounds on his body.
Just so he doesn't attack back, can I reach over and grapple him while telling him it's me?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a grapple.
Ted, thank you so much for the bits, man. I appreciate it. Love the support. Thanks for coming out.
Is this I forget how 5e does it. Is it opposed athletics for Davros?
Let's see here. I believe it is opposed athletics.
I'll look it up while you roll.
Let's see here. Get my bonus. I got a 20 total.
Okay. Davros, roll me either athletics or an acrobatics check. Your
Well,
choice.
I think I
imagine
know
acrobatics.
which one I'm gonna do.
Yeah. What's your
Can't see.
total?
People's hands are in front.
Sorry, it's a 17.
My total is 20,
20 on the dot?
22.
22. Okay. All right. You are not grappled. You slip out. Do you still yell the thing you're yelling? Whatever it is you're going to say, Verk?
Wonder, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it.
Davros, stop. We're fighting each other.
Oh.
This is me, Verk.
Davros, it's your turn.
Okay.
I will also give you a wisdom save with advantage. because of the spectacle that Jonas put out. Specifically, and I don't know if I made this clear, but because he specified it's the exact image you had seen an hour before in this display of magical prowess, specifically from your, I don't want to say friend, but ally Jonas. So something about this is just incredibly. And again, I said it's a DC 12.
That would do it.
All right, and we have a 14 here. So you snap out of it, and you blink, and again, all is darkness, these light blue tongues of flame, and a not critically wounded Verk in front of you, holding, I think he's dropped the weapon and is now just trying to grab you and kind of shake you by the shoulders. And you see now the truth of the scenario.
Oh,
We are out of combat.
You're such an asshole.
I got you good, though.
Oh my god.
Yeah, almost too good.
Oh my god.
What do you guys do?
What else?
Jokes aside, you are pretty genuinely banged up. Douglas, you're at 8. What's your total wounds? What's your max wounds?
20.
Yeah, you're below half. Like, you've also probably never been this hurt in your entire life. You're more than half dead.
Can I attempt to bandage him up?
Sure. Yeah, roll me a
medicine.
first aid or whatever heal, whatever the skill is in 5e.
11.
11? That's enough just for basic first aid. You regain 1 wounds, Davros.
All right.
And you're going to need to rest in order to get any more. So you're at 9. As Verk is bending over, bandaging up Davros, Jonas, what are you doing?
Trying to figure out stuff for the stream. No,
If you're talking, you're muted.
Yep.
trying to figure stuff out for the stream.
There we go.
Hey, real quick, Ted subscribed not too long ago, but we got a slender cash subscription, and Ted threw some biddies our way, so thank you.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate the support,
Thanks,
guys.
Ted.
Thanks, Ted and Slender Cash.
And Slender Cash.
I have my feet dangling over the last lip of the arena, and like, you know, from the seated area, like up over the, you know, the thing that, the last lip before the. And I'm like dangling them like playfully, like a kid. And I mean, at the very least, I'd like to do a new perception check to see if anything's going on. To see if there's anything different, to see if I can take my time with it to see, you know, to really investigate what the arena is.
I'll let your perception ride from before. You're not harried at this point. As you look around, you see that the tongues of flame, as you noticed before, there is an image through them. They are little windows to something greater. That is still happening. You can still see these little dancing windows to a greater shape. Other than that, the arena does not seem to have any other egress or entrance. It seems to have nothing untoward about it. It doesn't appear to be innately magical in any way. This place isn't dangerous or full of any kind of vile magic. It's just the things that are in it. Something in it is slightly wrong. Something in it is a little bit mad. And it's pretty obvious, coming from your investigation of these blue flames, that it's something coming from the other side of whatever these are window to.
Right, and so I can perceive the fact that this is connected to the scene outside that we saw.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But also, and a thing of note, you guys realize now that... Oh, is that Kurt sneezing?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Bless you. One of the things you realize, and this is probably pretty sobering, that it was trivial for whatever it is in this world to just, like that, grab your minds and put them against each other.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So this is no small... This isn't just an obstacle you've escaped. This is something that could happen at any moment, presumably. So something
Not like
to be
there's a
aware
whole
of.
lot of mine to grab here.
That's fair. Oh,
So,
you're not an idiot. You just have. What's your wisdom score?
10, I think.
Oh, really?
That
Okay.
sounds high.
So
I'm sorry. Wisdom is 12.
okay, so you're actually keep in mind we tend to overplay our flaws as D&D characters. 12 is
Yeah, his intelligence is 8 though.
yeah, and that's fine. But that only makes him 10% less intelligent than the average person, and he is 10% more wise than the average person. For what it's worth, he's not an idiot. He's not book smart. He can't count super quickly, but he can tell when a thing is wrong. He can intuit things better than the average man. So keep that in mind.
All
He's
right.
not dumb.
Hey, Vert,
Anyway,
why don't you touch one of those fires?
God
All
damn
right.
it. God damn it.
He has above average wisdom.
Yes.
I
Well, maybe
haven't
if he
looked
went
at
to
him yet.
maybe if he went to school longer.
You said it's like a ball of fire on top, right? You said like flame.
Yeah, they look like small tongues of blue flame. Yeah,
So I'll put my hand close to it just to see if it's
it is
warm.
not. It is not warm.
Ted, we're trying
This is
not
some
to go
weird fire
down
here.
to talk to the girl crying on the other end. Does it look like anything that we could do physically to it would put it out?
It doesn't seem so. You can try to
blow
pour
on
water or something on it. You blow on it, nothing. It doesn't move when you blow on it.
Are these fancy trick candles that sorcerers are always making?
Yes, Verk, it is. It is the tree outside's birthday.
Oh, sweet. There's a cake.
God damn it. You're
I mean, if there's nothing else in this room worth,
Yeah.
like, I think we're just stuck with the next option.
yeah. This was a bad place to go. There's not like a clue here or like loot. This was bad. Don't.
So
Is
Can we
the
go find
guy
Brianna?
still standing? Is the guy still standing in the pathway?
What guy?
Is what guy still standing in the pathway?
When we first did that, you said we looked down the path back where we came, and there was
No,
a
that
guy.
was-
so that was the
no.
description of
That was me poetically and for the last time describing. God. Never again.
At
Next time,
least it wasn't me
I'm
this
just
time.
going to tell you guys exactly what's happening. That was me being poetic. I was describing the figure you were seeing in the illusion. There's no actual man standing down there.
Oh, okay.
He-
Yeah, it was just weird. Like I
The
felt
way he
like
said
that was
it.
an interesting
I-
add-in there. That's all.
yeah. The way he said it, I thought that there was someone actually like in the tunnel back, even behind.
Yeah, like
Oh.
someone like cast a spell or something
Yeah,
like that.
no,
That's what I thought.
No one there.
That's brilliant.
Was I not here for that explanation the first time?
No,
No,
you were here.
this was part and parcel of the whole, like, I was trying to describe what you two are seeing, and I was describing to each of you a different thing, and somewhere on the way, wires got crossed.
Yeah,
Okay.
like how
That's
he
why
thought,
I was just...
like how
Hence
he thought
Pony
you
Boy.
were the centaur.
Right. Anyway. So, do you guys leave the amphitheater?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay. Do you try to do anything else with the... Well, so to be fair, Jonas, you're the one who has anything like Knowledge Arcana or any of the like more particular skills. Do you attempt to use any of those to interact with the flame, or do you just look at it? Because you just use like baseline perception. I assume you have ranks in a number of investigative, arcane, or divine skills.
Well, I only play detectives. Thank you very much.
That's true.
I mean, upon the DM's suggestion.
I just don't want you to...
You should have looked later. That's all.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, I probably have. I have ranks in Arcana for sure.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm proficient in it. I wouldn't mind seeing what information I could possibly divine from it. Sure.
Okay.
But how do I roll it? 20, right?
You just do that, yeah.
D20 plus your Arcana modifier.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
no. That literally went
Be,
up
just-
be
and down.
just
moving.
drop.
Be moving when you let it go.
There you go.
Yeah, fuck you.
Or you can just right click on it and hit roll.
Whatever. And then I get a +4.
Okay, so 17.
14. Yeah, so 17 total.
Okay. So it becomes apparent to you after a few moments of study that this flame, as well as the ones nearby, are all looking at the same image, but from different angles, as if they are, in the same way that they are surrounding this amphitheater, they are perhaps surrounding that great tree. Via your Arcana, you can see that there is a link between them. They are not separate entities, but something is shared. There's a shared energy you're getting, as if they are all the same spell. One spell cast all these. Pretty sure.
Would this be able to, would this be able to tell me if the illusion came, the will save that or the wisdom save I had earlier would have come like centered out of those blue flames?
What do you mean the wisdom save? Like the reason you made a save?
Yeah, you know how like
The whole
something-
thing that sent me and Davros after each other.
Yeah, it's very clear that this is the source of whatever madness was put upon them.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Where to, boys?
Let's go find Brianna.
The only way that we did.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to
Yeah, if you want to bundle things up, check
Yeah.
it out. Highlight it, like click and drag to highlight.
uh-huh.
Click and hold the button when it's in the air. Like wiggle your mouse back.
Oh, that's very cool. And then they all kind of fall. Still, that's very cool. Good way to pick them all up at the same time. I'm just going to move this aside. So this is a pretty organic place to, while I draw the new map, so you guys are going to pursue the little...
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I will take the lead and be watching for.
Okay. And then who's bringing up the...
Me.
I'm
Can
sorry?
I can I stand right behind Davros?
Okay.
So that
Can-
if anything does come up that we have to fight, I can jump in
Yeah.
front of him.
I'm sure he'll be happy to let... Yeah, in the
He's
best
the
of
one that-
circumstances. Right. So,
No, that was a centaur.
while I bring you guys aside, what we could do to introduce the new rule system, because I'm going to be drawing, is can you guys, maybe one of you pull up the document, whoever wants to do it, and read over some of the new rules, and I'll explain them in a little more detail as we go. They're up at the very top of the document, I believe. Very first thing is truth, and then after that is modular initiative. And then after
Got
that, there's
it.
a couple surprises I have for you guys.
You want us to read it or like
I'll do it.
aloud?
If I
Okay.
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll enunciate.
Thank you.
Truth. Truth is the resource by which we assert our will upon the world. Truth is a zero-sum resource shared between the party and the GM, split into two pools, and is calculated as follows: 2 truth per player in the player pool, and 3 for the GM in the GM pool. Session 1 pools begin with the aforementioned truth, but subsequent sessions begin with whatever value they had at the end of the session prior. The only time that truth refreshes is at the beginning of a new act, chapter, or other narratively significant marker as determined by the GM. When any participant spends truth, it transfers to the opposite pool at the conclusion of the current interaction, combat, scene, encounter, etc. Declare success. 1 truth. You may take 20 on any roll, effectively declaring your success at that action. This action is not treated as a natural 20, though you may make a free roll in addition to attempt the critical success. You may maximize an entire dice pool, such as an attack roll, sneak attack dice, or spell damage. To declare a failure is +1 truth. You may gain a truth from the opposing pool by effectively ceding an action to your opponent, or to guarantee a negative impact to your character. Add an action. To truth. During an encounter, you may add one action to your standard 3-action capacity. This may only be used once per round. Assert trait. 1 to 2 truth. Assert one of your character's latent traits. The specific cost and effects are listed under the individual traits.
All right, so does that make sense to everybody? There's these... Frats are very used to this. You guys might be new. You've probably seen hero points, action points. This resource is similar to ones you've encountered in the past. There's a pool, you use it to do things well. Very specifically, you take 20, something we've already done. The new things are that it's zero sum, right? So when you spend one, it goes to me. Our pools are discrete. So when Jonas used his truth to summon that avatar morning, it went to me. Of course, now if I choose to fuck you guys up, it's going to go back to you. You can forcefully take a truth from my pool by basically declaring a failure. Does that make sense? I know that's kind of a weird concept for most new tabletop gamers, but does that track?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah? Okay. So I swing at you and it hits, or it misses, and you go, you know what, Dan? Go ahead and lay that hit on me. I want to eat it. I want to get a truth that I'm going to use later in a significant capacity. Or you make a will save and you're going to go ahead and intentionally fail it. The add an action is very simple. For 2 truth, which is, a third of your pool at base, you get another action usable once per round. Oh, actually, sorry, that should be once per encounter. So that's a pretty big deal. And then to assert a trait, that's actually something that just happened. There's a trait I'm going to reveal to you guys in a little bit, that Jonas has this ability now to conjure the divine in a very palpable way. He's not actually bringing a god down from heaven, but he's able to connect in some capacity to a divine spark. And so that's his trait. And it's very convenient that's what he wanted to do, because he was able to spend a truth and do it. Any of that weird to anybody else? Make sense?
Dan and I did not practice this, or he did not.
No, I did not
catch
catch
up on that. That was organic.
Yeah. Sorry, Kurt and Bill?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. What I really want that to be is a resource that we're constantly trading back and forth. I want you to use it. Don't feel like you need to hang back and save it. Pull off cool things, declare interesting truths, fail in interesting ways, and I want that resource to be something we're constantly trading back and forth to make the game more interesting. If you want to make a roll and you've got truth in your pool, don't accept the failure. Just burn it and assert your narrative control on the game. The next section is modular initiative. We're actually going to go into that maybe a little bit later. It's kind of crunchy, and it's probably not super great for the stream because it gets kind of weird. I want to skip ahead to the traits. So what I like to do, and Frats knows this well, in my games, I really like to, if I have the time, to make up a class for the character. Like, Bill, you're playing a snake totem barbarian. If this was a really long campaign, I would sit down with you and, like, from the ground up, make that class. Like, levels 1 through 20 from scratch. I'm really into that. Barring that, for something like this, I like to make up little individual feat trees or traits or things that separate your character from everybody else. They're usually things that no other class has. They're not in the rulebook. They're completely bespoke for you guys. And so for this campaign, based off what I've seen of you guys so far, made up 3, for now, very small, kind of a little more mundane traits that will hopefully evolve into something bigger. I tend to dole those out like feats at level up. Every milestone, every act, every chapter, I give out a new upgrade or a new feature of that trait. So if you don't mind, Frats, if you're in the document, if you yours is first. If you want to read Jonas's for me, you can read your trait off and then...
The new trait?
The trait, yeah. Jonas, the heading that says, Jonas, a devoted charlatan.
Yes. Jonas, a devoted charlatan. You are a man attuned to the divine, and in that limitless ordainment of power you see a place for yourself. Someday, you will stand amongst the pantheon, and dispense boons and curses as you see fit. But for now, It's time to fake it till... For one truth, you may invoke the power of any of the 11 gods upon anyone within your range of vision. The only problem is, you can't choose the god. You must pray in a clear, audible voice and invoke the god chosen for you by name. Roll a d12 and consult the table below to determine which god you invoke. The invocation is visible, audible, lasts for a number of rounds equal to the Charisma mod, and cannot be prematurely cancelled. Each round you receive 1d8 of inspiration dice, which must be used that round. The die can be given to any willing character as an immediate action. Additionally, you are bound by domains, alignment, and restrictions of the invoked god.
So, in the future, if you go ahead and invoke that ability, you pick a random god from this list, based on your roll, and you are bound for 3 rounds. You are the alignment, you are bound by the domains of, and you are effectively the agent of that god. You're not mind controlled. Again, you can do whatever you want, but if you're invoke, for instance, Mistral the Cruel, Love, the Winds, and Chaos, you are encouraged to act perhaps a little more along the lines of those domains. And if anybody tries to detect your alignment, cast any kind of investigative spell on you to figure out if you're really invoking this god, as far as they're concerned, you are an agent of that god. You are a beacon of that small divine spark. Okay?
Yep.
Davros, Kurt, if you would like to read the next section of you.
Davros, a thoughtful thief. You always seem to have the tool for the job, mostly because at some point you met someone else who seemed to have the tool for the job. You managed to have a well-curated collection of knickknacks and gadgets for a variety of problems, though whether this is kleptomania or overcaution, we cannot be sure. For one truth, you may declare that you have a tool at hand to solve a particular problem. This tool can be any mundane, non-magical item that can reasonably be secreted on your person, and must be worth less than 100 gold. You may draw this item as a free action, but it costs an appropriate amount of actions to use at GM discretion.
So this one's pretty clean. You always have something that you've stolen on your travels that is useful for the task at hand. It can be a set of particularly useful lockpicks at the most boring end, or at its most extreme end, you can have a obscure magical component that someone needs to complete a ritual. You just have it, you declare a truth, and you've had it all along. As long as that item itself is not like a magic item, as long as it is not actually something of great extraordinary power, you are free to have it. You can lobby whatever you want for me, and it's really a creative tool. I want you to go into combat saying, like, I want to pull off some weird shit, and I need a rope, a squirrel, and a coconut to do it, and luckily I have all 3 of those things.
I'm MacGyver.
Exactly. That's entirely fair. So does that track? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that Janice needs from me, I'm pulling it from my prison.
Oh, from your what?
My prison wallet.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Where else would you have stored it? God damn it. Verk, Bill, if you want to read the last trait here.
UrbanDictionary.com.
Oh my god. Verk, a brutal showman. Your life in the pit, your life is the pit, and the pit is your lifestyle. Combat is not necessarily a trial for you, and it is a joy and a passion. It is never sufficient to win when you have the chance to win with style. For one truth, you may play the crowd and utter a sharp rejoinder at any opponent within earshot. At this time, declare to the GM a single objective obtainable in a single action. The action must occur within 2 rounds of the rejoinder. If you succeed at this action, you gain advantage on your next attack, or on your next roll, sorry. If you fail at this action, you receive disadvantage instead. You may use this trait on the action in which you are already receiving advantage, creating a chain reaction. You may do this a number of times equal to the proficiency bonus at the addition costs of 1 truth per use.
So basically, the very same thing we pulled off last combat, where you called out to the crowd, you rallied them, you pulled off a move. Because you pulled it off, you got advantage. If you fail, you get disadvantage. And more importantly, if you want to keep on chugging out that truth and your party doesn't mind you spending the entire pool, you can do that every round. So you have advantage on every attack. You're going to burn through your truth really quickly, but you're able to do it.
Yep.
Up to your proficiency bonus. And as that goes up, you can do it more often per combat. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So those are everybody's traits. You have access to them now and forever. And they all are very simple, should be pretty clean, easy to understand. They all cost exactly 1 truth. A pool of which now you have 5, and I have 4. I, as the GM, can use it for much the same things you guys can, to declare success, to assert failure, and to add actions to my characters, and to perhaps assert some special abilities of their own. That said, back to the action. You guys find yourself in this long, dimly lit, yet confusingly made, yet definitely synthetic corridor, at the terminus of which is a lightly lit, blonde-haired girl floating above the mud with maybe 8 feet of beautiful blonde, silky hair, sort of weaving itself amongst the mud as if it's resting on top of it. What do you do?
Verk's gonna like reach over Davros' shoulder and like point straight ahead of him. Is that Brianna?
I don't know. You tell me. I never saw.
Over both of their shoulders, I go, Brianna! Did she look?
She, the figure does turn to look in your direction, makes eye contact, and then dashes away and is gone from your field of vision. You can't tell if she went down the left or the right.
Okay, well, let's get this over with.
All of you just follow down single file?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like I said before, checking for traps.
of course. At the end of this, do you peer down the hallway?
I will peek down the hallway, starting on the left first.
I see Ted here in the chat is saying that she sounds dangerous. Ted, I recommend. Do you have any recommendations for how to deal with 5-year-old girls in campaigns? Is that something that you have any experience with? Okay, he's advocating her murder. What do you think they should do with all of her blood?
Ted, the reason why Verk and I ended up kicking each other's asses is because I'm afraid of little.
Yeah. So I think that Ted, if I may speak for him here,
We lost your webcam.
No, Meredith is calling. I'm gonna have to step away. This is like her 3rd time trying to call me.
Okay,
Oh, all right.
take 5. Well, at least he's frozen on a very pleasant frame.
Yes. My
It's just
my
him
window keeps
beaming.
resizing itself, and I'm not sure why.
Hmm.
Ed wants us to keep the blood. It's good for sacrifices.
He's not wrong. Davros, you peered on the corridor? I forget if I had asked you that.
Yes, left
Okay.
first.
Okay. I'll wait till Vert comes back to reveal what you see.
That you should have looked right.
Surely it will make you go mad. Because it's World of Madness. While we're waiting,
Ooh, while we're waiting.
uh-huh.
Oh, wait, never mind.
What?
I have no say in who I'm trying to invoke.
You don't. Not yet.
Oh,
So I'm starting really small here,
I gotcha.
right? So right now you just attune. So I let you have the morning thing because it was tied to you had already done it before, like literally an hour before, pretty fresh. But generally speaking, you're gonna just reach out to like, maybe you'll reach out for morning, but what you grab is up to the luck of the draw.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And we can play off the morning thing as like his energy was still around me, or
Yeah,
it was
it's
still
completely
whatever.
reasonable.
And frankly, looking at the list of gods, there's really nothing that my brain was saying, let's burn a truth here and I could play pretend as if there was a god of like healing to try to help these guys, but there really isn't. Unless
You could make you could make some like stretches here and see if a particular god there's
protection. I would think would give them maybe
Rose the many would probably be my pick for that. Creation would fall under that, but you're not gaining like healing spells,
No.
right? You're only gaining a D8 of inspiration for now, and like the truth that you are the representative of that god. It's largely an out of combat, out of like specific encounter ability, right? So like you're around a group of people, they're like, easily duped into believing things. You're a pretty charismatic guy. You throw it on the mantle of a god and convince them of something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you use it more, perhaps become more efficient and useful.
Can I ask, or is it going to have to be organically explained what happens if I roll a 12?
I don't understand the question.
Well, I'm rolling a d12, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
And 12 is all question marks?
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. Got it.
Oh, it changes because of what world we're in madness.
Madness
Would be all question marks, therefore...
Yep. That's it. You really got that one.
We are familiar, babe.
Nailed it. Oh, see? What the
Nailed
hell? Now Bill's face did all weird crap.
No, he looks exactly the same for me.
No, on the...
Oh yeah, Ted, they're in madness. You see the upper right? You can see on the screen it's that I wrote in like this light blue what the name of the world is. Yeah, that's why it says madness there. Yeah.
This is Sparta.
Thing is all...
Now Bill is gone.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens.
Shh. This is like actually like the same as last time. You guys were chasing Brianna, and then Bill left. Let's go ahead and just move, and I'll tell Davros what he's.
Okay.
We'll make decisions. Although we also lost Frats, it looks like, by the Skype call. Are we good? You're muted.
I'm not.
No, you're not. What's up? Are you cool?
I'm fine.
Okay, because you were looking away. I didn't know.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, no. Denise was asking me something.
Okay. So we're gonna move ahead with Davros. So Davros, down the. Let me orient myself. Let me reverse the map here. Look from your back. Okay, so down the left, you do see, in fact, the little girl, who you presume to be Brianna. At the very least, seems to respond to that. Should you glance down the right, you see a tiny, wriggling figure in the mud, just kind of twitching around in there.
Uh-huh.
It looks like a dark brown creature of some sort. You think you make out a tail and perhaps at least a couple of feet, but you're not sure other than that.
Oh, wait, Dan, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're coming down the hallway this way. So wouldn't that be his left?
I'm looking from behind. His left had Brianna, yeah.
Oh, and to the right is this
He
regular...
told me
Yeah.
both sides, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought this was going to be the... Okay, I got it. Brown wriggling things. Oh, it's a cute little dingy!
Is Brianna looking at us?
No.
I'm going to yell out, Susan!
What?
The little girl looks up at you,
Okay.
blinks, and then dashes down the hallway and is gone.
Okay. I figured. That was just to see whether she just reacted to the voice or whether she was reacting.
No, that's totally fair.
You said
Does a wriggling thing do anything when I yell?
Doesn't seem to.
said Susan?
It keeps wriggling. Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's calling out a random name to see if she's responding to the name or the loud yelling at her.
Yeah, no, I got you. Use a truth to conjure a chocolate bar.
Wow.
What?
That's what I can do.
Yeah, that's true. That's what he can do.
That's what I said. You should.
I didn't hear
You are
should.
cutting out a lot.
My bad. Let me turn down my gate a little bit. So, yeah, I said you should use a truth to conjure a chocolate bar, and then we can offer it to the little girl.
Yes, Ted is correct. Susan, the child goddess of the fifth ring.
That's right. See, we got to get Ted in here. Ted's the best.
Ted's good on his feet.
He is.
Also sitting down. He's very good sitting down.
Yeah. What do you do? You're in charge here, Davros.
I am following the girl. I am.
Okay. No Wrigley thing? Okay, that's
no
fine.
Wrigley thing. Because the last time I did not follow the girl, bad things happened. So
That's true.
Yeah, I'll keep
There's
an eye
no
on it,
logic.
though, from behind.
Yeah. I mean, once you're like 20 feet down the hallway, that little gone from. You're talking about dark vision, but it's underground. There's not a lot here to make out, and the thing already matches color with the mud pretty well.
I'm back.
Hey Verk, they're just chasing this little girl down. Something to note here, they called her by a different name. He called her Susan just to see, and it looks like she reacted equally well. So she may not only respond to Bree.
This thing is infuriating.
What, the webcam?
This Skype thing that keeps rising automatically.
Oh,
And you're just gone, Bill. So.
oh, sweet. I didn't know if you guys just removed my picture because I was.
Oh no, you're out of the campaign.
Oh, damn. All right. Night, guys.
Oh damn! But yours comes right back. Look at that. I didn't have to do much for you.
Is it because you have me as a group?
No, dude. I'm not gonna go into the whatever here.
It's okay, Bill. You gave me a moment in the spotlight that I took advantage.
It's true.
Yeah.
Are we good to go?
Yeah.
We are good
Okay.
to go.
Okay. So down the end of this hallway, you see a very tiny candlelight. Looks like it's coming from a very small room. On the floor of this room, which, by the way, you have to go up. This slopes downward, by the way, on a very slight incline. So you're finding yourself even farther below the bottom of the well from which you had entered. At the base of this, looking down, you can see a little room with a raised stone entrance to stop the mud. And it looks like cobblestone on the ground and a little girl surrounded by candles in the center of this room. She is now, you can just barely make out from this distance, humming to herself softly.
Okay.
Humming to herself softly, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
How's my voice, by the way? How's my mic?
Good.
It's-
Okay.
Verk, this is where you take the lead.
Alrighty.
Sorry, y'all. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Verk, what do you do?
I'm just gonna walk right on in.
Okay. We walk right on in.
At what point
And,
should I hey Daver, should I stay behind and keep an eye on the Wrigley thing?
At the end of the hallway, but stay within sight of us.
Yeah.
So you're going to stay at this corner.
Yes.
Okay. Verk, do you move into the room or just to the door?
I'm gonna get to there,
Okay.
and then I'll call out. Are you Brianna?
Okay.
Can I, while he's calling out, can I check to see if there's any kind of mechanisms or anything that would spring if he were to move forward?
Sure. You're welcome to check. Go ahead and roll me perception. Again, let's try to get used to rolling in. I'm hoping
Right,
we have
sorry.
further Francis. That's
I do.
okay.
I completely
Just so
forgot.
that the stream can see it.
Perception. That's an 11.
Okay. You don't see anything. Verk, inside this room is this little girl. She, like I said, her hair takes up almost the entire length of this room. This is 15 feet square. So all around her, the hair is spreading out into every nook and cranny, into the cracks of the floor. There is water dripping down from certain points. I will helpfully spackle this scene. And so she's a little bit damp. Her hair is wet. Her clothes are wet. In the upper right-hand corner of this little pink square here, you see a little bedspread, and it is in fact that lovely sort of peach salmon color. She's grabbed this child's blanket. It's dirty now. It's torn up. It's ragged, and she's piled within it a bunch of refuse and straw and bits of rotten leaves, and made herself a crude sort of bed. The other squares you see here are bits of garbage that she has piled up, and into what you think is something not unlike decoration. She's made, you can't quite tell what it is, but it's very clearly shapes. There's intent to the way that she has stacked and stored this garbage, right? You think you can make out amongst some of the piles what looks like the crudely constructed dolls from the garbage that she's found. When you ask her if she is, would you say, are you Brianna?
Yeah.
She looks up at you and kind of cocks her head, but still keeps humming.
Can I hear the humming down the hallway?
Yeah, but very faintly. It's not particularly magical, so it's. Is
it anything I would recognize?
No.
I'll lean forward to Verk. I don't think she's Brianna. She also responded to Susan.
I wouldn't call that responding. As I say down the hallway.
You've got good hearing.
Yeah. You didn't say you were whispering.
I did. I said I leaned forward and whispered to Verk.
Oh, well, I can't be held accountable for stuff that I don't pay attention to. All right?
For streams you don't pay attention to. So, Verk, Davros, what do you guys do?
I'll look at Davros.
It's his move. Your option.
I don't even know what to do.
I'll like nudge him towards the room.
All right. So I'll step in. Can we help you?
She looks up at you and keeps humming, but cocks her head as if she doesn't quite understand what you're saying.
The last one wanted a blanket.
Is she human?
She looks to be human, yeah. Did you hear what Jonas said?
No.
The last one wanted a blanket.
Oh. Well, this one has one, so.
Right, it's this very dirty, ragged,
yeah.
sort of.
Is there any kind of
a bedroll?
Are there any kind of things in the trash heap that looks to be like a repeating pattern? As far as like, do I see a certain kind of trinket? Like, or does she have a lot of watches, or anything along that?
She has a lot of purple things. Or things that used to be purple before perhaps the ravages of time and madness had discolored them.
I am going to use a truth.
All right. Give me that truth.
Davros reaches in a pouch at his side and pulls out an amethyst. And he reaches forward. Here, give this to her.
Amethysts aren't very precious, right?
No, they're less than 100 gold.
Okay. Just making sure.
Let me double check that.
No, I'm sure. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think they're precious.
Just it's a very small amethyst.
It's fine. Verk?
Would you like the shiny rock? As he puts it in his palm and hands it to her.
I want everyone to note that everyone collectively decided that the barbarian with like 8 charisma is going to take the lead on their negotiations. This was a decision made.
It has worked in every instance
by
thus
popular
far.
vote.
Not
She
exactly
looks-
the prettiest looking dude.
She looks up at you, and her eyes go wide, and she leaps up. And you notice when she leaps up, her feet leave the ground for a little bit longer than they should, as if she is slightly less affected by the laws of gravity than perhaps Davros. She snatches the amethyst out of her hand, and she holds it tight, and then she holds it up to a candle to see the light refract through it.
I guess she liked it.
She continues looking at it for a little while and then turns back to you and slowly kind of like crawls over and then looks past you. So she kind of was like hereish. I need to make this not necessarily snap to. This isn't combat, so I don't care what square she's on. So she's kind of like right here. Oops. And she looks at you, Davros, and she says like something you don't understand, but it's a questioning tone. It's like, and it's pretty clear she's asking, and she holds it up to you as if like, where did you get this from? Like, how did you find this? This doesn't look like something that would survive out there in madness, right? This is a pretty clean, pretty polished stone. It's been tucked away in your pouch. This wouldn't still look like this if it was thrown on the ground outside, right?
Okay, here we go. Me trying to explain where we came from again.
Yeah. I would just develop a better lie.
Yeah.
You're like, we're world travelers, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I totally accept that explanation. Sure.
I will instead, since she's a girl, well, for all we know, young little girl.
No, this is an anime. She's actually 4,000.
Well, she has really long.
She does have very long hair.
I'll say, dear girl, it fell from the sky,
What language do you say that in? Just common?
What? Hold on. Let me look at my character sheet. Where did my languages go?
Well, he's looking that up. Just in general, even though you can't speak a language, would you still be able to have a general idea of what language it might be?
That depends on a lot of factors. So strictly linguistically speaking, that's pretty complicated. For purposes of D&D, I would say if you have a high enough int, then you can probably intuit it based on the languages you know without even having to roll. So you probably not, Verk. I imagine you speak Common and like maybe. Do you speak anything else?
I think it's just.
Are you half orc?
Half orc, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you speak orc and human, and honestly, you probably don't speak orc that well because you've been hanging around humans for a long time. So maybe enough to get by, but not like enough to write poetry. Someone with pretty high int could be able to intuit at least if it's a language that like exists on their realm or a relative of Elvish or something like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did it sound more like Common, Elvish, or Undercommon?
It sounded more like Elvish. If you had to pick one of the three.
If I had to pick one of the three, that's the one I would have picked anyway, because it's probably the more beautiful of the language.
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. As you say it back to her, she leans back a little bit, kind of cocks her eye again. It's clear she doesn't quite understand what you're saying, but it's closer.
Can I say it again in pantomime? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Falling.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me. Let's do a writing check for how well you communicate with this bunch of pantomime and like, Elven. Roll me a diplomacy. Maybe it's when there was a
There's-
linguistic skill.
Diplomacy is now persuasion, I believe.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Fine, roll me persuasion.
I was gonna say performance might be.
Maybe.
Either one.
Yeah, I'll let you use your pick of performance and persuasion.
It'll be a 12.
Okay. That's your stream cut. Uh, 12. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but you're not quite certain she's getting all of what you're saying, but it's not terrible. Ted's actually right. It's the skill is persuasionate her. So she seems to kind of nod. She understands the falling aspect. That makes her very excited. And she stops for a second, as if she just realized something. She goes back into her little pile of garbage, and she pulls out a bunch of the purple things. She makes a whole big pile of it, and she starts to arrange it, and she points at you and then points to the pile of purple things, and as if she's asking you a question.
Is there anything that sticks out about the way that she's arranging things? Is there a pattern or anything that I noticed what she's doing?
If you had to be pressed, you would say that it maybe at first no, and you kind of just maybe you walk forward a little bit and kind of look at it from, and you realize it looks not unlike a flower.
And she's just looking there quizzically?
Like back and forth from you to it, as if she's asking you a question about this sort of purpley flower shape and you. She did this after you told her where the thing came from.
I will nod at her.
Okay. You nod, and she jumps up. And again, as she jumps up, you realize that she floats solid 2 or 3 seconds in the air. The hair kind of catches her as she falls back down, and she runs up to you, and she points to you and her, as if you and me, together. And then she points up and out, as if we should go. Let's go. Let me go with you.
Okay. I'll offer my hand to her.
Okay. She takes your hand and is like, let's go. She's already tugging you down the hall.
Okay. I will go back and
Wait, hold on. She stops. She just remembered something. She runs back into the room. She grabs her little pink blanket, and she starts throwing a bunch of knickknacks in. And as she pulls up each knickknack and goes no, maybe I don't have room for this. Throws it to the side. This one, oh, I can find one of those anywhere. This, oh, I've got to keep this. And she starts making this little collection of trinkets, and she piles them all up in the little sack, and she ties it together, and she slings it over her shoulder like a little blonde Santa Claus. And then she grabs your hand and tries to lead you out the room.
I will go with her.
Okay. All right. So you guys go and back out down the hallway. Ted, do you come in and kill the little girl? I imagine. Before she has time to murder them. So do you guys leave the well, or do you continue to explore?
What's there left to explore?
So, what was the dice thing
wriggling
over there
thing.
again?
That's a little wriggly brown creature in the mud.
They didn't want to get close.
They chose not to, no.
Let's kind of have her lead the way and see which way she goes.
Okay.
That's
So she's going to hold on. So Davros is thus in the lead of you three, because she's holding Davros's hand. So she just makes a beeline. I'm going to cut right to the end here. Unless you do anything crazy, she's all the way up this hallway. She's going to go all the way down here, all the way back to the well, and she is going to clamber out of the well. At the very base of the ladder, she takes a couple deep breaths as if she's a little nervous. She looks up, and Davros, she looks back to you and up the ladder as if she's kind of psyching herself up.
I'll reach out to try and go up the ladder before her to kind of give her a little bit more comfort.
No.
Okay,
No. Listen, buddy. Okay, she's got this one. She does. You know what? Forget it. And she just climbs up the.
Okay, and I sent you a message in Discord.
Oh, is it a secret message?
A DM message.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So Kurt said that he stabs next. So that's you, Vark. You're stabbed, and it looks like you're dead. Actually, I went ahead and rolled the dice on my side. So you guys clamber out of the well, and I will go ahead and actually I don't need to redraw anything. Well, I will a little.
Kurt, you are correct. She is your daughter.
Yeah. Your daughter, written in your elaborate backstory. Remember how I said I definitely want family members to be an important part of the narrative of this campaign? Well, here we go. Okay, so the well. The well will be this very giant D20. The well is important enough that I should go ahead and find a.
The well should be a
So-
stack of the truth coins.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not a bad idea, actually. Hell,
That looks
My stack.
decent.
yeah, I'll use my stack. Okay. What do I have now? 5? Yeah. So you guys are outside of the well.
The appropriate amount to kill
Davros.
us, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that's enough. And you notice that it has begun to rain softly. In front of you, there is the ruins of the Fairweather something, compound, prison, mansion, whatever. And you see this monstrous, grotesque tree creature leering over the top of it, as you had before. And you notice now, mostly because you're looking for it, Jonas, what looked like small hints of blue light illuminating it from the base. The very underside of some of its faintly, which is what you might expect. She looks up as if she had forgotten he was there for a moment. And she looks not terrified, but a little bit apprehensive, and certainly displeased. She does not want to have to deal with this. Either way, she looks at you, she looks at the creature, and she gives you the well, let's go. Let's go to the place you came from. The place where
Okay.
amethysts rain from the sky.
Yep. I will. Is the device doing anything at this point? Has it
Yes.
up?
Yes,
Can
it
I
is.
activate
Yeah.
it or anything?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So you pull out the compass, and well, you have to interact with it in some way. So you open it up, and it just says "Welcome." What do you do or say to it?
We wait for Windows to boot.
I will say advise on available desktop.
Okay. I'm getting an echo from Kurt. Is anyone else getting that?
Yeah, he's listening to the stream in the background or something.
Okay.
I have everything muted on my computer.
It must be coming out of. Someone else
maybe?
must be picking up.
I don't know.
Well, I'll have Discord open next time you say
I
something.
just
see who's
muted
coming.
myself on Skype. Did that fix?
Yes, it did.
That sounds better, yeah.
So advise on available destinations. Okay. It says it spins a little bit on its axis, and then it says the grave, the grave, the grave, the grave, error, the grave.
The compass isn't purple, is it?
It's not.
I will repeat out loud I'll let Jonas and Burke know. It said the grave, the grave, the grave, the grave, error, the grave.
I grab him by the shoulders, and as he's saying the grave, go ahead.
Hold on. Can I deliver your dialogue? Do you just go? Yep.
To me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's your natural response to terrible things. Anyway, go whatever you were going to actually say.
It has been, yes.
Yep.
No, I as he says the grave, like the fourth time, I grab him by the shoulders and I'm like, spit it out, man.
The grave what?
She looks at you, and this is the first time you pulled out the device. So she looks at the device and she grabs it from your hand. Well, I imagine you don't want to let her hold it. Do you want to roll off on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's roll me opposed dexterity.
She being a god, obviously,
Right.
Yeah.
has triple advantage.
She rolled very poorly.
Oh yeah, well, she's covered in mud, so.
Yeah.
Kurt also rolled rather poorly.
But
Probably
high
wins.
enough.
Yeah.
I have a 10.
Yeah. I am going to go ahead and burn a truth here. Going to let this go to you guys. Going to give myself a 20 on this roll. And she grabs the compass out of your hand. She actually, as she reaches out, her hair reaches out too, and it like wraps around your left hand, so it kind of like catches you off guard for a second. And she grabs the compass, and she steps back and looks at you to it and you to it, and she like slaps it a little bit and kind of shakes it. And then she holds it up to her ear, and her eyes go wide, and she nods, and as if it's talking to her and she's understanding. And
Is she still holding on to me with her hair?
No, she lets go.
Can I maneuver, not to grab the device back, but can I maneuver to place like my hand on her shoulder, and I'm going to try and also reach out to hold, to like make contact with Jonas.
Okay.
As hopefully he's picking up to do the same with Burke.
Oh, as if she's transporting you guys?
Right, yeah.
Right. When you touch her shoulder, you begin to hear a very faint voice. Sounds like the same tone of the compass. Mm-hmm. It is speaking a completely foreign tongue.
Okay.
Presumably whatever she speaks. Actually, no, you've heard her talk. So yes, it is her language.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. Which is at least not Elven, but a little closer to Elven than perhaps it is to Common. She stops after a while as if the thing has stopped talking to her, and then she looks down, looks at you, kind of gives you an eyebrow, and hands the compass back. It is repeating to you the grave, the grave, the grave, error, the grave.
I'm going to say to the device, yes.
And it responds with the same thing. Fucking any other? Where do you want to go? World of songs or worms? Worms. Okay. The device is telling you it wants to take you to a grave. Yep, that sounds great. Let's do it.
Yep.
The logic I'm assuming is that for some reason I'm unable to understand what each of those options are.
Oh, I got you. That's a decent guess.
And that she set it to something.
Yeah, it's not accurate.
Set it to.
And it's not it is literally not working. It is encountering an error. After the third or fourth time, you hear a loud, hollow bellow.
Oh boy!
It says,
No.
"You."
Go ahead.
I see you.
I'm going to hand the device to Jonas.
I immediately begin shaking it frantically.
You are lost.
I will say out loud. Well, yeah, obviously.
Let me take you home.
I don't think we want to go home.
Home.
No, Jonas, what's going on?
If none of you have picked up on this by now,
Is it the
looked
tree?
around, it is the tree.
Mhm.
The tree is not making eye contact with you, as if either it can't see the voices just coming from it, and it itself doesn't have much agency.
So, I mean, I'll try to knowledge arcana the whatever the hell's going on.
There's not much to study here. There's a loud voice in the tree, but you're not close enough to see any if there's a ritual going on, if there's spells being cast. You need to be able to study the artifacts and the tangible details, as it were. You're not close enough for that.
Okay, so let's get close enough.
Yeah. Is that whatever? Oh, okay. There you go.
What's the worst? What's the worst?
I'm gonna watch the girl's reaction as they move forward.
She gives you a like, huh, I wouldn't necessarily have done that type look. But she doesn't seem terrified. She's not like in hysterics. She's just a little cautious about this thing.
I'm going to try and pantomime to her. I'll point to the two of us, and then I'll make like a walking motion with my fingers.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll point to the tree and look at her quizzically.
You should be doing this literally on your webcam.
You should. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I wasn't looking. She shrugs and gives you the, well, you know best. And like, you're the guy who comes from a place where amethyst fell from the sky. Who am I to question you?
Okay,
I'm going to express increasingly elaborate sentiments through her like total pantomime.
I will. I'll reach out for her hand, and if she takes it, I'll join my fellows.
She does take it. And you join them. So you come now past the first ring of concrete and grass here. Oh yeah, she doesn't snap to it. It's like.
Do we notice anything special about the walls at all, or just
no, they're destroyed. Again, concrete and steel, and you see. Actually, want everybody to roll me perception checks.
Someone moved my dice on me.
It was probably me.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's got that 17? Verk.
I have a 20 total.
Yeah. Verk, you can make out some writing.
There we go.
As you kind of, now you have an 11. You
Sort of. I mean, the thing did that thing again where it just went straight down.
Yeah, are you shaking it
Yeah, but
like a Polaroid picture?
I'm trying.
You
to
can also literally just right click it and click roll.
Yeah,
and
Click
drop it
roll
in
and
the
it
air.
throws it in the air and spins it a bunch.
Yeah,
but I'll take
that's
that
probably the
11.
most reliable way. No, you rolled a 3. Fuck. This isn't Babytown D&D. This isn't Feel Good Times. So, Verk, you notice a rusted metal sign that was bolted to the wall at one point. And you kind of scrape some of the things off of it, and you see it's a word you certainly can't pronounce. I will let me draw it.
Are we gonna see what Verk sees, or are we gonna?
Yeah, you're gonna see what Verk sees. You're gonna no. You're gonna see the actual. You're gonna see the actual.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna draw like web dings.
Again, he's got an 8, not a 2. Like, he's not disabled. Jeez.
Think middle school.
Oh. Okay. Really, guys?
Come on.
What's up?
Don't.
Someone's drawing a dick.
Oh.
Or Kurt, rather. I can see because it's his thing.
I'll point to the sign. Look, Fairweather Farm.
That's entirely fair. I don't think any of you know that word. I actually gonna just say like none of that word hasn't been invented yet where you're from. It means nothing to you right now.
We know the word apothecary.
Yeah, but that's
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. That's the
Yeah.
word that we know.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutical. I've heard of this.
Enlighten us, a wise.
It's incredibly not important. It's a very old sign. It's obviously the old building was what used to be a ceutical, and so it was just it's a place marker for a pharma of ceuticals.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not the shop where you pick up suits to work on a farm?
No, I mean we would know.
I don't know a whole lot, but I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell suit.
He's right. Do you guys move forward?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're closer now to the base of the tree, you see, you start to see that everything is illuminated by this very faint blue light. In fact, just around the corner, Jonas, you see another, you hear a crackle, and you see a brighter glow of that blue flame. I can't help but notice that Verk is in front. Verk, where you are standing, you see a man.
I was gonna walk up to the corner and just kind of like poke my head around the side, just take a glimpse.
Let me describe this man to you. Actually, now that you guys are close, what I'm going to do is I'm kind of trying to do the you're looking at a very zoomed out map, and as you get closer, I'm going to kind of redraw it as the battlefield is a little. By battlefield, I mean area in which you're going to talk to this guy. Getting a Discord message and make sure it's not up. Okay. Okay.
I really enjoyed the opportunity to feign knowledge of things that you clearly have just stated we don't know.
Absolutely. No, that should be like your primary character trait. You should get a trait where like occasionally it's correct. Like you have some kind of like incredible luck where sometimes you make up a thing and it's actually what it is. And like it happens one time and everyone believes you. Yes, always, because I am smart. Okay.
Ed, we know.
So would
we
you
know
say
that the tree means the afterlife.
So let's put. I was going to say that.
Like back
Yep,
here?
that's exactly what I was about to do. Yep. So now that we're zoomed in a little, you guys are this. Put yourself however you need to be. Well, is obviously out of the picture right now. And so Verk, you're like here, right? You're like kind of just like peeking over the side.
Right up against the wall, just kind of just enough to get my eyeballs.
Yeah.
To be able to see what's going on.
All right. So you see this man here. This man is very familiar to you, although at first you're not sure where you know him from. He is dressed in rags, but he has stitched them together into a sort of very insane regalia. There's silks and fine linens. There looks like the remains of a tapestry, perhaps a little bit of leather armor, has been sewn together into this outfit, and all of it dyed, or more accurately, just splattered with purple. He is wearing on his head a crown. It is made of a bunch of nails that he has put together and strung through a bunch of wire, and placed it above his head with the nails in front being covered in some kind of looks like some kind of gold, and he's like stuck onto the edges of the nails different brightly colored trinkets as if to simulate jewels. He is holding in his hand a scepter, and this scepter is a long piece of rebar, at the end of which is wound a bunch of copper wire, and it looks like a very faint glowing light. And as you squint through the rain, you realize that it is Harkwell. He is chanting something to himself, and almost completely unintelligible, and he does not seem to have noticed you.
Just to remember right, Harkwell was the male servant?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to relay that back, or do they all see that as well?
You're the one who's peeked around the corner, so unless anyone else peeks around, you'll have to tell them.
The old man with the boomstick is out there.
It's a fair descriptor.
He's holding, looks like a club wrapped in wire. Awfully thin looking, though.
There's no crowd, right?
There is no crowd.
No.
Oh, sorry, I forgot one of the more important things. At the base of this tree is surrounded by a huge bonfire of flame. It is not consuming the tree at all, but within it you very clearly see, in the tongues of flame, there's like kind of little windows. In this giant bonfire, you clearly see a window to another place. It's flickering in and out, and in between you see visions of myriad other places, one of which is a vast underground amphitheater. So you could see that window back from the place from whence you came. But mostly it's focused on a place you don't recognize. It's a huge, just absolutely colossal building, but you can't make out the shape of it because it's either zoomed in too close or it's not holding there for long. But he's clearly directing this blue flame to something, to a particular place that it keeps coming back to.
You remember those little blue flames down in the fighting ring? Yeah, there's a big one out there. I'll step back so they can peer around and get a better view.
I've had enough of that place. Jonas, this is you.
What's me?
Go look.
Go look at the tree dude?
Yes. Go speak with the tree.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Harkwell is chanting something. Tree is a thing.
Wow. You do only play detectives, you're right.
Yeah, it's Colonel Mustard. Hearken, fare thee well, dear adventurers.
Are you saying that to him?
Yep, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go up to the edge with the girl.
What brings you to Fairweather Pharmaceuticals?
I'd like to say you pronounce it a little bit wrong. So, like, Fairweather Pharmaceutical. Or, dealer's choice. You get it, like, a little bit wrong.
Yeah, pharmaceuticals.
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 He looks down at you, and as he looks, his eyes go wide, and he seems to recognize you. The tree says, "Come home. Let me take you home." And the Harkwell looks up at the tree, looks back at you, and says, No, no, this isn't right. This isn't how it's supposed to be. How did you get? No, not at all. This is madness. This is absolutely insane. Why, it's quite unbelievable. I never thought I'd see the day. What are the odds? And just various other increasingly ridiculous synonyms for saying that this doesn't make any sense. He jabbers on like this until you interrupt him or do something. He has a seemingly limitless supply of synonyms for this particular sentiment.
Yeah, I asked you first, what brings you here?
Wow, you sure got him.
Yeah, yeet.
He stops, looks at you. He says, "You come here to my kingdom and question me?" He steps forward a square. "This is my world. This is my..." He looks around and he says, and he's about to say something proudly, and then he looks down and he whispers very regretfully, "This is my home. But not for much longer. No. I'm going to go to the place where I belong. The place where I'm safe. The place where I can rule as a king." And he looks at you, Jonas, and he says, "You have it. I saw it. You're holding it, aren't you?" She looks up. "The tree speaks to me." For all you know, the tree doesn't speak to him. It's completely unclear as to what about him is magical and what is just insane. And he says, the device, the gyroscope, bring it to me."
Yeah, that's what the angel dude said. We had to come here and rescue you.
Roll me bluff.
Why? What is how to do? There is no bluff. So is that just a charisma?
There's deception.
Oh, deception. Okay.
Did we need to change the name?
Oh, good. All right.
What's your score in that?
Pretty good.
Oh, good.
We're gonna let me put it down, and then I'm gonna put it down, and then I'm gonna roll it.
Okay. Glad you're declaring it.
Daddy,
Good, because that roll sucked.
I want to bring out this for show.
Oh, that would be
19.
24.
What's your total? Okay. So he looks at you and says, he comes a step closer. "You saw the angel."
I go a step closer. Like, to better infer the bluff of, like I'm okay with this happening because
Yeah.
I'm bluffing. I'm sorry, what did he say? As he steps
He asked
forward,
if you
it
saw
was-
the angel,
Yeah, sorry.
kind of like in disbelief. Or awe, yes.
Close, yeah.
Absolutely.
And he knew about me? He knew my name?
We're here, aren't we? It doesn't make any sense.
His eyes go up to the sky as if he's praising something, and he looks back to you. "So you've seen it then? The cathedral."
Oh. With mine own eyes.
He looks back at the flame, and it's increasingly, erratic depictions of different places and occasionally this building, and he looks back to you. "What's it like?"
I want to jump in so bad, but I don't want to fuck this up.
No, I put my hand over Verk. Verk, no, actually, I put my hand on Verk's shoulder, and I kind of give him like he needs to show like reverence feeling, like if that's possible. Would Verk be able to catch a signal from me that he should like kneel, that we're talking about the cathedral?
Oof, maybe.
And that's a lot to.
I mean, I'm on the verge of like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
kind of
no,
a like thought. Yeah, I'm slowly getting more and more puzzled as the two of you keep talking.
Ooh, wait. Okay, so he says, "What's it like?"
Oh, hold on. I needed to roll. Hey, what's deception imposed by? Investigate, perception. Is it perception still?
Depends
Insight?
on what you're trying to do.
He's just trying to see. He's just trying to see if.
If he's trying to see through his lie, it's insight.
It's
Yeah.
insight. Okay. Which is
So-
a wisdom based.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I doubt he'll. I mean, I don't think he's going to make this roll. Better than I thought, but no. So you're I just never rolled opposed to your bluff
Yeah.
or to your deception. So it stands. He still believes you.
So he says, "What's it like?"
Yeah. What's it like? Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. It is. Okay. Hold on.
Holding.
Okay. So I say it's divine. And then I drop a truth and activate my devoted charlatan.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. I already took a truth
You
pile.
took the truth, yeah.
Yep. Let's roll a d12, motherfucker.
Do those exist? Or are they?
I should have spawned them. You should have one.
I don't think you did.
I sure did. Here, I'll drag it over to
Oh.
you.
That looked like a whatever the other one was.
There you go.
Okay. Now,
Oh,
this isn't. This is
I
just.
get this. This is crazy. God damn it. So morning, the ascendant, god of righteousness, the sun, and the heavens. Again. What are the odds? 1 in 12.
Oh man.
All right, lay it down.
So
We just need to come up with a figure that's.
So what's is anything around me that I can paint with or like draw with or anything? Is the blood that I drew the symbol of mourning still on my chest?
Yeah, it is dry, but it's there.
Okay. So I re-inscribed that like encircling it with my hands. And and then I start that same prayer that I used to invoke him in the world of constellations.
Okay.
I start you know, based on the action that I need to take, but then it's that same prayer that I used to calm down and kind of put those guys in check that when we had that encounter in constellations.
Okay. So that gives you a D8 of inspiration die. I'll just leave this right here for you. Use it at pleasure. And do you also want to summon the avatar again, or what do you? You have to burn fairy fire to do that, but otherwise, do you just simply manifest? There's like just the manifestation of Morning himself, just the kind of the glow around you, and the effect of the truth basically being you've convinced him that you are an agent of this god.
Could I use a suggestion spell to whisper to him as if it was Morning talking to him?
Oof, yeah, you can. I'm going to give him advantage on... Well, no, I won't give him advantage on that. I'll just make him save. Or the wisdom save, rather. What's the wisdom save for suggestion?
Is... Target must take, on a failed save, It's just a regular wisdom saving throw.
No, right, but what's the DC?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's up here, isn't it? I don't see it on my character sheet.
It should be a level 1,
it's a
whatever your
level-
level 1 DC is. So your level 1 DC is 8 plus spell level plus charisma mod. Or no, was it proficiency plus... What is it? No, that's constant. I mean, I know I wrote it on there. It's should be under your... You should have a spot for level 1 spells, what their DC.
Yeah, but I'm not sure where to find it, is the issue. It's not on the spell itself, so is it under skills or... Like,
you should have a sheet that just says, like...
I'm looking at the old Roll20.
Yeah,
To get
yeah.
my info.
We can just calculate it. 8 plus proficiency plus int.
What is it?
Is that really what the DC? Does the DC not? Oh, interesting. Okay, it's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your charisma modifier. So I believe a 13. Your charisma modifier is a 3 and your proficiency is a 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 13. I will let you use an inspiration die to add to the DC.
Okay. That would be cool.
Jeez.
Wow. So an 18.
Nice.
18. Okay. I need to roll. I need to roll a 16 or better. Ooh, you saw that 16 for a second. And then a nat 1. So no, he believes it completely. He looks around him. All of a sudden, his ears. Oh, actually, what does Morning whisper to him?
Go to them. They've seen it. They've been
God
here.
damn. He looks around him as if like, and he falls to his knees, and he takes a step forward. And he looks up.
Go ahead.
And he's not asking for proof. He just really wants to know what it's like. But he is on his knees. He like drops the scepter. He's basically defenseless.
Verk.
Can I slowly reach down and just...
Please, no, now I put my hand on your shoulder.
What were you trying to do, Verk?
I was going to say, can I just reach down slowly and just subtly grab the scepter from in front of him?
Yeah, you can. Do you try to stop him from doing that, Jonas?
I try to stop him. Well, no, I mean, I don't try to stop him. If he pushes past me, he pushes past me. But I definitely put my hand like on his shoulder as he's leaning to indicate to him that no, you shouldn't be doing anything right now.
Okay. Do you give a shit about that, Verk?
I'll stop. I have enough sense about me that if he's trying to do something...
Okay.
12 wisdom. 12 wisdom.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so you do not pick it up. And he has tears in his eyes now. He's pleading with you. Please, just... I've waited so long.
Well, then let's go. I'm not...
He wanted you to tell him about it, but that's fine. If you want to go there right now, that's fine.
Yeah. I think I've bluffed enough.
Okay. So he looks at you and like holds out his hands to grasp yours as if like let's go right now. Let's do it. He's ready to go.
Is the tree doing anything different now?
It is now. Yeah, it's swaying, perhaps a little more than it was before, and it's groaning and moaning a sort of atonal hum.
And is the compass doing anything in my pocket now that I'm closer to the tree or anything?
So, do you reach for the compass?
That's one of those questions.
Kind of. It's also a question.
Correct.
I mean, just reflexively, he would, right? Like he wants to.
I reach to my pocket where it would be, like, because I didn't have it out, so I reach to my coat pocket, let's say, and like up against my breast or whatever, and then I touch it over the coat. So I'm like,
it's not there.
Cool. No problem. Damn you, Discord messages. So, oh, I hear you feverishly typing back there.
I have MX Browns. I shouldn't be that loud enough.
You need key dampeners, mister. If you're gonna...
I have key dampeners.
I know, I'm kidding.
They should... Oh, no, not on this board I don't. That's right. Okay, well, there we go. That's on my work board. Yeah.
So, I go to reach for it, or put my hand over it, and it's not there. And I'm like, So then I slowly bend my hand to him, and like almost like rise, like you're not in the presence of whatever yet. There's no reason to kneel here. Let's go to the cathedral and kneel.
Right, sure. So he gets up.
So it's super smooth, but it's obvious, like, there's a quirk on his face where, like, Jonas is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. He looks back and forth. Shall we go? Is it time?
It is, but the cathedral is a place of peace, and there is no need for weaponry, which is why we have our custodian. And I gesture over to Verk for him to willingly give up any kind of weaponry he might have.
Okay, he hands Verk the scepter, which is a club. Verk, you now have two clubs.
No,
one is a rebar wrapped with copper wire wrapped around it, and one is the butt of a... I can't wait for you to roll a nat 1 on an attack shot. Oh boy, let me tell you. You guys, boy, am I excited.
You guys find yourselves back in the world of Amandus. Weird.
Yeah.
So I lead Harkwell back to Davros and the girl.
Okay, as you do that, Davros is walking up towards the tree with the girl. You turn around and he's like passing you by.
Can
I speak to you as a man with a voice at this point, Davros?
Sure.
Instead of our secret communique.
Sure. Yeah.
As you walk forward, you look down. You see that Davros is holding the compass.
I mean, that would track.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sorry, you did not have he burned a truth. You did not have the ability to roll against him for this one.
Yeah.
So Harkwell looks at you, to him, and as you walk closer to the tree, the compass says, oh no. Now, it doesn't express a lot of emotion. It's still got this kind of calm, almost machine-like tone, but it is clearly expressing distress. Don't let it hurt me. Don't let it hurt me. Error, the grave. Don't let it hurt me. And the tree looks down. And it says, you give it to me. And it reaches its long arm down to the ground, scoops up a little bit of mud and dirt, and a bunch of wriggling creatures fall through its fingers like little bits of moving sand. To me. The little girl is looking distraught. She looks at you and the tree, and she's giving you the like wide-eyed, what the fuck are you doing? And she's shaking her head no. She's pulling on your sleeve.
As soon as I would have noticed that reaction, I would have stopped.
Okay.
Because she seemed indifferent all the way up until that point.
Yeah.
What can I mean, at the point that this Harkwell thing happens, and then we witness Davros walking towards the tree, I think I would reach out and be like, "Brother, what are you doing?" And
I'm like pretty much right next to you, and I've stopped at this point.
okay.
Like I'm within, like if you wanted to hit me with a staff, that's how close I am to you.
One could say melee range.
Right.
Harkwell looks up and says, "What? These are friends. No, they're going to take us to the place. They're going to take us home. The cathedral. The cathedral." He's pleading to the tree.
I start chanting, and I'm trying to get Verk involved in it, almost like it's a chant of people that would be in like an arena audience. And I'm like, cathedral, cathedral, cathedral.
Do you join in, Verk? That's a little... That's a little...
What?
Okay. I don't know. That's fine. Do you join in, Verk?
Sure. I've been playing along with him through the charade so far. Might as well keep it going.
Okay.
I'm
still kind of lost and clueless as to what's going on, but
Yeah.
I think I'm
he's
playing
just
up
gonna
the
roll
like.
with it.
I think I'm playing up the we're devoted to this thing that we don't know anything about angle.
Yeah.
I will not. I'm going to retreat from whence I came if I am able to.
You are
Trying to put Harkwell and the other two in between me and the girl as I do so.
Okay. So you back up.
Yeah, like I'll keep facing it, but I'll like walk backwards with her.
Can you show me where you'd like to end up? Just put him there for now. Okay. All right. Now put yourself back. Two. What is your AC?
Crappy.
Dun dun dun.
14.
Success on my end. The tree lashes out, the hand swipes at you, it hits you for... Oh boy, oh, my friend. You're into wounds, aren't you? Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry, that combat's over, your vigor is back. And a good thing that your vigor is back, because you just take 8, which would have killed you. So 8 vigor to you. The tree swipes. You it just clips you, and you stumble back. Your movement stopped by it, and it just screams at you, "Give it to me!" Harkwell looks back at the tree and looks back at you guys and says, "No, you don't understand. And his eyes go wide, and he grabs you by the shoulders, Jonas, and he goes, "You've seen it." And he's asking you like one last time if you're telling him the truth.
I know it.
I love it. Then he looks at you and he nods and says, "Listen." And he leans in like to your ear to whisper to you, "The tree has gone mad." He turns around and he says, "Brightholm, this place has ruined you. We have become what we hate. We have become that which would not be worthy. You have become that which is not worthy. They have come to take us home." And the tree looks, and you see the up at the very top, right below where that ring of 6 eyes are, The bark starts to peel back, and this thick blue sap pours out, and what emerges from this crevasse is Brightholm's face.
Hmm.
There's the sap coming out of the eyes, nose, and mouth, this blue liquid, and the mouth moves out of sync with the words that are coming out of it. Or rather, the sound comes from the tree's mouth aperture, and Bartholm's lips are moving, but they don't match up. And she says, "You have lost your way. Come home to me. And if you gentlemen would not mind terribly, I'd like you all to roll initiative."
I don't see
Are you
why.
using the new initiative?
We are using the new initiative system, and I will explain it to you. So, here's how the new initiative is going to work. I just made this up the other day, so I'd like to try it, and if we don't like it, we don't like it. But I don't like how random initiative is, and how the spread between someone with very good initiative and very bad initiative is not that high. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll a d10, and you're going to hold on one second. Okay, you're just going to roll a d10 straight up. You are going to ties are going to be broken by your initiative score, your dexterity modifier, and a roll off in that order if needed. For right now, it's a straight up a d10.
I got a 9.
Okay. Tree. Where's my d10? A 2. Kurt, is that an 8?
Yes.
And Frat's a 5. So we actually have a pretty solid. Oh, you know what we can do for initiative too? I'll just put these dice. Oops.
You can set it to a number, I think.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Let's see here. There you go.
Okay. Frats, Harkwell's going to go on your turn. And the little girl is going to its turn. And I will color this die.
If you just right click, you can hit set value.
The little girl is the red die.
Yeah, I'm just going to... There we go. Give me a second. Okay. And then let me write out my initiative order here. Oops. All right, so going first with a 9, we have Verk. Going next, we have Davros. Then we have Jonas. And then at the very end, we have our very good friend,
Arborius Brightholm.
Arborius. Arborius.
Oh, you liked it. All right.
Yeah. Arborius Brightholm. Okay.
Now, I thought I read that each round we're re-rolling.
Every round you're going to re-roll initiative.
Okay.
This is not the. Oh, right. So writing it out is probably a stupid.
Yeah.
I did not consider. I'll erase it, and that's the die probably works out better that way. We'll just color the die according to everybody,
and then move it, on the tiles. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
You
gonna
could
roll
probably put like a 1 through whatever number position next to it.
Yeah. That's smart. Here, I'll just write it out. Well, I guess it's kind of. The problem is you can't angle those super. Yeah, see the text is weird, but so you're going to re-roll initiative every turn. You can sacrifice an action preemptively for a +4 to your next initiative roll. So you can say, this round, I'm only going to take 2 actions. I'm only going to take 1 action. I'm switching to a 3-action economy. Actually, we're going to do that right now. You have 3 actions per round. You can use those actions for anything. They're all equally action. This is what Pathfinder 2.0 does. You can do 3 moves, you can do 3 attacks, you can do 3 bonuses, whatever you want to do. All actions can be used in any slot. You still have a reaction that you can use for attacks of op and things like that. And you can sacrifice actions preemptively to gain a +4 in your next roll. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You receive a bonus or penalty based on your poise. Poise is something that I'm still working out how to apply it. Certain combat maneuvers will apply it, but basically, if you do something, you know how I have and Frats, you know this a little better, but how I'll encourage you guys to perform creative actions and then lobby for effects. Like, Dan, I'd like to do this, and I'd like to get this out of it. You can lobby for poise. Poise is going to be a +4 to your initiative roll. Off balance is a -4. So, Dan, I'd like to knock this guy off his balance. Instead of dealing damage, I'd like to just knock him off his feet. He's going to get a -4 to his initiative roll. Dan, I'd like to spend this round centering myself, and I'm going to sacrifice my action in exchange for gaining poise. Great, you have a +4 to your next initiative roll. So that +4 -4 isn't additive. You're one or the other. Either you are poised, you're not, or you're off balance. You can't stack it. You can't be double poised or anything. And you are the most recent thing that's happened to you. So if you center yourself and then someone knocks you off balance, well, you're knocked off balance for your initiative roll. So you can increase your roll by centering yourself, by giving yourself poise. You can also increase it by preemptively sacrificing actions. Other than that, you're just rolling a d10. I might incorporate dexterity at some point down the line, but I'm not sure how I feel about that right now. But for now, that's how it's going to work. Cool?
Cool.
Okay, we'll try it. If you guys don't like it, let me know. We're testing it out. I want to see how it works. I'm hoping for a more dynamic system. And one that encourages tactical initiative. So I'm purposely going to lose an action because I need to go first because I have a plan for going first. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. What time is it? 10:30. Okay. So we're not going to get too far in this, but so Arboreus Brightholm roars out and the flame around her grows incredibly bright. And this is really fascinating. I did not anticipate Harkwell being on your side for this. So this is actually going to be, I think this is going to go really well for you guys, but we'll see. I do have a mighty stack of truth. I got, 6, right? Yeah, I've got 6 to your guys' 3. So I'm coming into this pretty stacked. The flame roars around her, and
Thanks, appreciate it, man.
the tree arches backwards and begins to break and crack. Loose sap begins to leak out, and from the cracks in the tree, you see small wriggling shapes. Top of the round.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So I have this scepter club in my hand. Am I able to run around swinging with both as dual wield, or?
Well, I think we looked this up for 5e, but I'd like to double check it. 2-weapon fighting. And it's one hand. Well, this is different because there's 3 actions now. Yes, you can. Neither
or do
of them
I
are
have to have a proficiency or anything like that?
Let me think. I will let you operate as if you have 2-weapon fighting in Pathfinder, or normal 3-5. I'm not sure. I don't quite like how 5e does it because you have to use your bonus action, which I think is stupid. So hold on one second, actually.
Or how would the 2-weapon fighting work with the 3 action if I could just swing 3 times?
That's what I'm just checking.
Okay.
I'm seeing how they're doing it.
Kurt, you really got to up your lying game, man.
His lying game?
I didn't lie to anyone.
His in-game charisma, talking to people.
Oh.
I didn't talk to anyone.
No, I'm saying in the past you've gotten us caught because you were unable to.
Since Dan's looking this up, For perception versus insight, perception is based off of your senses, so seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, what have you.
Yeah.
Insight is your understanding of what you've gathered from what you can see or hear or feel.
Yeah, like
Intuition.
can investigate. Yeah. Okay.
So it's just that's the main difference. If it's you're trying to read someone's face and counter their bluff or understand how they're feeling or acting, that would be more of an insight. Whereas perception is just, do I notice he's making some sort of a face, or is he trying to hide something? Like physically hide something.
Oh, interesting. They do two-weapon fighting really in a really interesting way. I kind of like it a lot. I'd have to do some number crunching to make it work for this, and I don't want to do that right. So I'm going to just do a quick and dirty. You can make, because you're dual wielding, you can describe you're using whichever weapon you want to give an attack. If you you can use all three like normal actions to make attacks. You get one extra attack per round, no matter how many you make. You always get one extra.
Okay.
But it's at a -6.
Jesus.
-6 to attack.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems fair.
All right. Vark, so yeah, it is your turn.
All right. So as I run up to meet my foe.
So you just fucking charge that. Okay.
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, I don't know what I expect.
You've had a few minutes to come up with your one-liner. What is it?
Oh yeah. My bite
Welcome
shall
to the
best your
hurt
bark.
zone. Oh god.
Oh no, that's good. That's good. Hold on. I gotta give me a sec.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Would you say shall or my bite will best your bark?
Yeah. Okay.
It's more of a slur. It's my vital.
Yeah. There you go. My bite.
Yeah.
There you go.
Smart. Oops! I got the hang of this.
Or smart might not be the best descriptor here. There you go. And he's just gonna.
God damn it! You're just gonna attack?
Let's see. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and start using some of my abilities. So he's going to go ahead and just automatically go in rage.
Okay. Now is that a?
It's just kind of a.
Does
it's
it
just
cost
kind
an
of
action normally?
It's normally a bonus action.
Okay, so that's
So-
one of your 3 actions because
Yep.
everything costs the same. And then it was 1 action to run up, so you're down to 1 action.
Okay. So I'll just get like one swing with each weapon then.
Yes. Yeah.
So he'll do that.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
We'll say this is close enough.
And he's just going to go ahead and reckless attack.
Okay.
So this is gain advantage on strength melee attacks. Hostile attacks against me will gain advantage until next turn.
Ooh. Okay. I like that. Oh, and so all right. So hold on. My battle best your bark. So when you make, or are you using your? Sorry, are you just doing the fun like flavor, or are you also invoking your trait?
No, I'm just doing the
Okay.
flavor.
Cool. That's fine. I'm also going to say that counts for when you do your trait. You don't need to make up a new thing. You are totally welcome to, but you already have one like on the board ready to go.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just making sure I got all of this correct. Okay, cool. And go ahead and set these here and roll. So this is for the first weapon. This will be the shotgun.
Mhm.
So 10 plus 13 to hit.
Miss.
All right. And then
Rather, it's a very big tree. You like hit it, but you kind of
Yeah.
glance off. It doesn't.
no, it makes sense. And this is the scepter. That is a the hands in the way. Okay, 15. 18 to hit.
Okay, that's a hit. You land the butt of this will be the scepter. Yeah, that wire, like one of the sharp edges, digs into one of the open. I said there was cracks opening up where the sap was coming out. It digs into one of those, and you hear Brightholm cry out.
Okay. And
Or rather, hold on. I'm sorry. She wouldn't cry out because it's not like into wounds yet. But you pull it back, and there's pieces of like the inside of the tree and sap on it, so you know it was like a solid hit.
oh, okay.
Anyway.
I need to figure out how much. It says when you make a move, bonus increase gains. Oh,
The scepter's a
so
decent.
it's. I was looking at what the rage increase.
Oh, I'm sorry. That doesn't hit because you have a -6 penalty to your extra action. To your extra attack, remember?
That's right.
Yeah, so I apologize. So what did you roll, an 18 total?
It was an 18, so
A 12.
13 or 12, yeah.
Yeah, so I apologize. No, it does not hit. So it glances off again.
Damn.
Yeah,
All
my apologies. So you can tell this thing is going to be a little tricky. It's maybe 25, 30 feet tall, and most of it is covered in some pretty tough bark. So you're going to need to think of something interesting for this. Davros, it's your turn.
For my first action, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to pantomime as best as I can to the girl, like, go, and then I'll point to one of the broken down walls for her to hide. The one directly behind. Okay.
She doesn't like book it. She kind of jogs back there. And is definitely peeking out and watching intently the fight.
Okay. And then I am going to flank.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming move is one of the actions.
Yep.
And then my third action, I'm going to take out the sword from the...
Wait, what was your first action?
I used an actual action to talk to her.
Oh, no. That's a free action. Just to tell her to get out of here. You don't need to action for that.
Okay, in that case, I'm taking out the sword, the magic sword or whatever that the lady was using.
That Brightholm was using.
I'm going... Yep, and I'm going to... Are there any kind of cracks or anything?
There's a bunch all around the base, yeah.
Wait, that's Brightholm's magic sword from the other world?
Correct.
It is.
And you're going to take a chop at this world's Brightholm with it?
Yes, I am. Hey, she shouldn't have come at me in the other world, man.
All right.
I'm going to aim for the biggest crack that I can see and try and jam the sword in.
Okay. I'd like to leave it there?
No.
Just okay. Just to stab
out.
it. Okay. And by the way, you and Verk both have to step through the blue fire to do this. It doesn't do anything to you. You get a very cold sensation as you pass through it, but otherwise...
I guess I should have asked where specifically. I was thinking like center in front of it, kind of like a...
I'm sorry, it is all around her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but right now it's not... I could draw... Well, yeah, she can't move, so drawing it should be fine. Let me actually draw that. Just so you know exactly... There you go. All right, roll that attack at a +2 because you are.
So that would be... 20
what?
22.
I don't know why I said 20 what. An 18 hits, but yes. So a hit.
And that would be 15 damage.
Do you apply sneak attack just for flanking?
Yes, you do.
Oh god. I don't remember if that's new or not. But okay, 15 damage. You jam the blade in. This point, she does notice. She does cry out. However, you seem to have some trouble getting the blade back. I'd like you to roll me a strength check.
Damn it.
I will give him my inspiration.
You definitely cast that more than 3 rounds ago.
Hmm.
Let me think. It was out of combat. I'll let you do it. I'll let you have it for the next 2 rounds. So this round's. So, oof, doesn't matter. Oh, you're gonna go ahead and yeah?
Yep.
Wow, okay, I have 7 now. I hope you guys are cool with that.
Jeez.
I'm gonna start just
It's a
auto-hitting you every...
It's a magic item, man.
Okay. So you take 20 and you pull it back out. That does cost you your last action.
Okay.
It is just dripping with this blue sap now. Jonas, your turn.
What does the girl do anything, or does she cede her actions?
He told her to run away. She ran. You don't know what, if anything, she can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do know she had magical hair and could float on it, so
It's true.
she very well could have been an asset in this fight.
Hey man, you can bring that up with.
It's a role play moment, man.
He's not her master. You can talk to her too. She's not like beholden to.
We're not great people, Tavros.
It's true. You're not. But yeah, keep in mind, you guys are like literally evil. It's just FYI. Anyway, Davros did give her an amethyst, so I guess she's partial to him. But
Yeah.
But to be fair, I'm chaotic neutral.
okay.
Can I actually cede to? Well, okay. So I know I declared it, but if you're gonna allow me to inspire, could I inspire Harkwell, or was that wasted? Even though Kurt didn't use it.
You are. Yeah. No, it was wasted. You
Okay.
you told him. Yeah, you used it on him.
Son of a bitch. So and oh, I did this anyway. Could I allow Harkwell to maneuver first? Since we're on the same.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Do I control Harkwell?
Yes.
Oh,
What do you want him to do?
I would like.
You don't know what his abilities are because you're not the GM, but what do you want him to
No.
do?
I would like him to.
He's like your ultimate fanboy right now.
Yeah.
He'll do whatever you tell him to.
Yeah.
You're gonna lead him to the cathedral. You're gonna take him home.
Yeah. This is.
Fire!
You need to.
I can't wait till you have to follow through on that. It's gonna be great.
Dan, I led 73 people to their deaths.
That's true. That's 74.
This would not be a major play on my, afterlife sheet.
Dan's getting ready to just unleash the fury.
Yeah, I'm just laying him out here.
I mean, it's hard. I'm just lost because you're telling me to use actions that I'm not familiar with what he can do. So
No. I'm not telling you to do anything. You can direct what kinds of things do you want Harkwell to do? And over the course of the fight, we will reveal what his actual things are. Because Jonas doesn't know either. He's like, Harkwell, go do whatever. Like, what does Jonas tell him?
Okay. Oh. Okay. So in a okay, so let me do this. So casting and using an action, casting something that I have as a bard called Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
I start to insult the Brightholm figure in front of us, and in that same breath of the insult, which I can come up with one if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm sure. Harkwell, I instruct Harkwell to attack. So it's something in the breath of like Harkwell, we must take down the termite infested heathen. This grotesque and what's it called? Rotten abomination is an affront to the cathedral and everything it stands for.
He looks at you and he looks up and he says, like, genuinely, sincerely, we were friends once. He's not disagreeing. He just wishes it didn't have to be this way.
Yeah, he's putting context to it. Yeah.
And he so I'm gonna roll a saving throw against Vicious Mockery, which is, I believe, a 13 because it's a level spell.
Yeah.
12, my friend. So unfortunately, I make the saving. You know what? I tell you what. I'm gonna go ahead and declare failure. To grab another one of these here, truth.
Uh-huh.
So she fails. She takes 1d4 psychic damage. Go ahead and roll me a d4. And she gets disadvantage on her next attack roll before the end of her next turn.
That would be a 3.
3. Thank you. So a total of 15 and 3, a total of 18. Well, we shouldn't be tallying, which is it's a very meta game. But Harkwell, well, he looks down and he goes, my scepter. So Harkwell can't make a melee attack because he is not a monk and doesn't have a weapon anymore because Verk took it. So he looks around and he walks right in front of her and he holds his hand out and he puts them inside the blue flame and he begins to channel a spell. That will go off at the beginning of your joint turn next turn.
Okay.
Bottom of the round, we have Brightholm. Arboreous Brightholm, sorry.
When she begins to move, can I kind of taunt at her? Like, give me what you got?
Sure.
So, to be fair, I think I only really took one action there, right?
Vicious Mockery. Yeah, you have 2 more actions. Yeah, good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I ready my cane sword.
Okay.
And yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Brightholm looks down and says, "You are all dead men in a dead world." And the cracks begin to open up, and you see tiny, toothless mouths that begin to grow sharp fangs, and then upon each fang, you see the blue sap start to extrude. And they just start clawing, or not clawing, they biting and gnawing at the air. And within the center of each now fanged mouth, you see a single eyeball rolling around, making a full 360-degree rotations. Until one of them, there's maybe 12, 13 of the whole body, but one of them is staring right at and making eye contact with each of you. That's action 1. Action 2 is she is going to swing at you.
At who? You broke up.
Verk. I have disadvantage on this roll. Thanks to the friends.
I'm gonna let you have it.
Let me have the... Oh, you tell her you're going to let her have it?
I'm gonna take a coin and let her hit me.
He's
declaring a failure.
A failure, yep.
Sure. She swipes at you, and Deals you 10 damage. Boom.
I have resistance, so I believe that halves it.
I don't know what resistance is in 5e.
It's a barbarian ability. When he's enraged, he takes half damage.
Resistance.
Or at least I think that's how that works.
From what kind of? It says
It's
you need to.
from enraging.
No, but it says it's from specific damage sources. So is it all damage?
Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
It is bludgeoning.
Yep.
So 10, so 5 damage. Ah, smart move. That was a good play. And the second hit is against Davros. Davros, I'm going to swing. I have disadvantage. I'm going to take that 11, and what is your AC again?
14.
It is a hit. Not great. 7 damage to you, sir. That is all 3 of her attacks. And as I mentioned, the eyeballs are all making eye contact with you at this point. Top of the round, let's go ahead and re-roll our initiative. Oof, lovely. Nice.
I got a 9 again.
You got, yes, you did, yeah. But she goes first. Okay, fantastic. So top of the round, she looks down at you, and the mouth starts contorting, and then it begins to vomit out a torrent of blue sap. Each of the eyeballs stares at all of you, and you are all forced to make a wisdom save.
Six.
Oof.
Man,
one?
this game hates me, man.
It doesn't. It does not like you. Oh, wow.
That's not great.
Jeez. No, it's not great. And I'm going to go ahead and roll one for Harkwell here. Harkwell does not make it. So all of you are going to take... Wow, terrible. Minimum damage. All of you take 1 damage, and you have disadvantage on your next Constitution save.
What kind of damage is this?
This is psychic damage.
Okay.
I just stares at you. There is a flash of white, and you hear a high-pitched whine. The jaws clamp shut, and you feel a snap inside your brain. It's just a little twinge, but you feel yourself get weaker. Now, as for first attack, she's in a good position. She's just going to keep swinging. You guys do not have a ton of hit points. Verk, you look fine, but Darvis, you look visibly wounded, right? You're at 8 wounds. You've taken quite a few. Oh, that's right, 9 wounds. She's going to take a swing at each of you again. 1 at you, Verk, and 1 at you, Davros. I have... Oh, so
Can I go ahead and call my failure?
Sure.
Yoink.
You take a hit, my friend. Oof, nice. 13, we're going to round up. So 7 damage to you. Davros.
Yeah.
Nat 1. Swing and a miss. She can't drop her weapon. I don't think anything bad happens right now. Imagine what.
One of the eyeballs falls out of the mouth.
No.
Attack of opportunity?
That's true. Yes, you get an attack of opportunity on her. That's true. The arm swings right over your head, and she leaves herself completely wide open, and you swing and a miss. Verk, it's your turn.
Said 12 hits, but I don't think
it does
so.
not.
All right. So now I can just go full frenzy. I'm going to go ahead and reckless attack again.
Okay.
Let's see here. So this is for the gun. Let's see here.
+2 for flanking.
5, +7. 17 to hit.
17 misses, my friend. I'm sorry.
Damn.
I will say this, and I did mention this before. Generally, if you, and I know you're played a barbarian, but straight auto attacking will probably lose you all my fights. So it's very clear that she's got a pretty high AC, 8 pretty high for 5e on purpose. She's covered in hard bark. There's not a lot that you can do from from where you're standing, and she does have these sort of very clearly eyeball weak spots that you would have to cold shot to target directly. And other than that, I leave it up to you to think of how you might perhaps find ways to hit her a little easier or damage her in other ways. It's up to you. But she is like a hard target. She is covered in this incredibly hard work.
Can I start to climb up and just start bashing away at these? Like, how big or small are these eyeballs? Are they?
They're about 3 or 4 inches in diameter.
Okay, so easily, like, I could just punch and hit an eyeball.
You could.
Like a
Yeah.
pool
I'm
ball,
right there.
like pool balls, maybe.
A little bigger than that, but yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and ditch the weapons. Just
Okay.
toss them down, and just jump up at the tree, just kind of like grabbing on, and just start punching away at each of these eyeballs.
I think you were breaking
Okay.
up. I think what I heard you say was you were going to toss the scepter toward Harkwell's feet.
Yeah, that's in my left hand, so it goes
Yeah,
leftward.
there you go.
Yeah.
Left ways. All right, so go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check. How well you jump up onto it?
All right. Let's see. Acrobatics. Could it be athletics?
I'm sorry, that's probably... Is there even acrobatics?
There's acrobatics and
Yes.
there's athletics.
Athletics is fine.
Acrobatics is the tumbling. Athletics is like climbing and swimming.
Okay, then athletics.
Awesome. So I get advantage. All right. 20.
All right, so you clamber up. You are 10 feet up the side of the... Ooh, hold on. Let's bring back our old friend...
Yeah, you remember that, Burke? I bet you do.
Let me see if I can scale.
Since I climbed up 10 feet, how close am I to her face? Because you said her face was starting to get exposed through the...
Oh my god. Hold on. Did I just undo the... Just
You
control...
did something.
No.
Yeah.
You took control of my screen.
Yeah, I just want to... I hate... This is the one thing that,
There it
like...
goes.
What's Y? Is Y tall? Yeah, it is tall. 6. There we go. Let's do... So on the Y-axis, let's make this pretty legit. So let's say this seems... You are... Yeah. So we'll play this really, really simply, right? So you are as high up as you are visually. So like you are that high. Cool.
Okay, so I'm
So,
about
like-
halfway to her face then.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
Am I within an arm's reach of one of these eyeballs?
Yes. It is a called shot for the eyeball. So the eyeball has... Let me think how I want to do this. Give me a second. Now that you're on the tree, you're grappled, or you're not grappled, but you're like climbed up her. Yeah, that's fine. You can just make the attack straight up.
Okay. So I do, since I'm enraging, it's still strength. So do I still get advantage off that?
Do you get advantage on your attacks?
Yeah, for being enraged on strength.
I thought it was
attacks
just it was strength checks, I think. Not all attacks,
Uh,
because otherwise I think
Oh no, the reckless attacks. That's what it was that I was getting advantage off of.
Does that last for the rest of the round?
It lasts until the end of until my next turn.
And you
Let's
did
see
it this turn? Beginning of this
Yep.
turn? Okay,
Yep.
yeah, then you have advantage.
Actually,
I'm just making a bunch of these blocks to make...
Yep. All right. Roll. 21 to hit.
A 21 hits.
And you said melee before was just a D4, correct?
No, I believe it's... Yes, I'm sorry, a D4.
Okay. So then... So 4, and it's add strength, correct? For
Damage,
I believe?
yes. Mhm.
Yes. So then 7, 9 damage.
Okay. The I'd like you to now roll dexterity check, please.
Dexterity check?
Uh-huh.
Is that to make sure I don't fall off?
Nope.
Okay. I want one of these. Nat 20.
Okay. Plus 9. A nat 20, my friend, you punch the eyeball, you feel it swish, she screams out, and you pull your hand back just before the jaws close around your wrist.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So watch out for that. Is that your turn?
Yep, that's all my actions.
Davros.
Can the girl make any kind of actions from where she is at to assist us?
What do you want her to do?
Run away, apparently.
I don't know what she can do, but you're saying that we should like direct them.
So for instance, Frats doesn't know what Hawkwell's like spells are or his like feats are, but he's like, go hit her, like hurt her, you know. So like he's like, okay, I know what that means. I'm not gonna. You guys don't have like the strongest communication, but she's able to more or less understand your general intent. You don't have access to like her character sheet, but I don't know, it depends what you want.
I'll yell out to her then. Dear, any assistance would be appreciated.
That's not gonna do.
I don't know. I don't know what she can do.
No.
To me, she's a little girl.
No, and that's fine. You don't have to do anything. But I'm saying like that's not like that's a hard thing to pantomime. Like right now, it's been a lot of like vocal intent and like you walk over here, and so you're like, dear help, and she's like, I don't know what those words mean.
I can't do anything from where I'm at to get her attention,
and that's fine.
So.
That's fine. What do you do?
Is the ground still those little skittering things, or is it dirt?
It sure is.
It's the skittering things, or it's dirt?
It's the skittering things.
Okay. And I'm within the blue flame at this point?
You are like right on the outside.
I'd like to see if the device is saying anything different being this.
It's still broken and frightened. It is frightened and it is broken specifically because of and frightened because.
I will take the kitchen knife and I will try and throw the kitchen knife at the eye closest to.
Okay, make that attack. Oh,
I want a
Kurt.
new set of D20s, please.
Kurt, yeah, we'll have to spawn you a new set.
Alright, so for my next... I still have 2 actions.
Yeah.
I don't like have anything in my toolkit to do anything here.
Technically, you have anything you want in your toolkit.
I don't have anything that...
Maybe like a flint and tinder that you could call to light the tree on fire with actual fire.
That wasn't what I was thinking of, actually. Something to those effects, but I don't have anything to actually, like...
Would we know what a lighter looks like?
Well, that and it is a living tree. It's not going to light up.
You broke up after you said it's not going to light.
It's not going to light up very easily at all. It's a living tree.
You turn him into a ship.
A little divinity.
I am going to...
So this is, and I know this can get tough because this is something that is pretty core to my style, and it can be a little weird. That there is no I don't generally like to have like puzzles with obvious solutions. They don't have like predisposed. She doesn't have like, sure, she has eyes and punching them seems to do a lot of damage, but she doesn't have like a secret boss like pattern or rotation. And at the same time, I don't like to run things where you can just like auto hit things to death. I try to put scenarios in where you are rewarded for creativity. But that being said, it can be difficult to put yourself in this world. I'm in front of a giant tree. What the fuck do I do? So I definitely sympathize. It can be difficult to conjure something. But try to put yourself, you're physically here at the base of this massive tree. Remind yourself of what's happened thus far. So Harkwell's doing some kind of Harkwell bullshit. That's fine. Verk has begun to climb up the tree. You have a bonus action which gives you like some obscene climb score. So there's that.
That's actually just a trait. It's not a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Do you use a bonus action or you can do any move action is?
I do not suffer any penalties for any movement
like
penalties for climbing. Correct.
Jeez. Okay. God damn.
It's specific. It's specific to the specific branch of rogue that I.
Yeah, it's a great fucking talent. And there's an exposed Brightholm face. You do have Brightholm's magic sword. You've got these big old poppy eyeballs. She's extruding some kind of sap. There's a lot of like pretty visual, tangible details there. You could also just pass your action to the end of the round if you need time.
The blue fire, you said it looks like the stuff down in the arena?
Yes.
But Jonas didn't relay anything to us about that. So, yeah, you didn't tell us about the reflections or anything like that.
You would have seen them as well.
I didn't see I saw a freaking centaur.
Yeah, he didn't really investigate
at me.
Oh, well, I would have assumed they would have... Whatever. Yeah,
I wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. I am going to pass because I literally am just.
That's right. It's 11 o'clock, so we're already past time anyway. So that's totally fine. Frats, let's do your turn, and then we'll end the.
I desperately want to know what Harkwell's doing.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want him to go first? It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Okay. I need some more tokens. Let me. These don't. These don't color very.
You trying to change the color of the tokens?
Yeah. I guess this to do. So Harkwell reaches both hands into the flame and he calls out and he begins to chant. He looks up at Brightholm and tears are streaming down his face. But he is convinced that she has finally lost what was left of her mind. And here he is at the brink of salvation because his new friend Jonas is going to lead him to the cathedral where he definitely knows where it is.
Absolutely.
And because of that certainty, he is going to kill his own friend. Wow, Jonas, you really got this guy in your corner.
Yeah.
He has no other choice. He pulls out of the fire a handful of blue, and he raises his hands up, and you visibly the tree slumps a little bit and the flame grows a little less bright and he scatters it around, and these four
what?
I haven't said anything yet. These four rifts of flame erupt out of the ground, and each of them carries a look into a different world. So, Davros, Mr. Compass, I'd like you to roll me a D10 4 times, please.
Dan, I believe you forgot that Jonas has the... Oh, wait!
Wait a minute.
Bum, 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 bum. Oh, wait, no, I can do that on the stream. Hold on, Price is Right.
Three.
Okay.
4. 2.
Interesting.
Ted, you like my my soundboard?
2 again.
Okay, that's fine. That's 4. So,
Killjoy.
from the bottom token here, around Fairweather Pharmaceuticals, a rift opens with a glimpse of the world of cathedrals. Just to the left of Harkwell, a rift opens with a view of the world of storms. Right above Davros is a rift with a view of songs. And then, because you rolled it again, next to Verk is another portal to the world of songs. So, cathedrals, storms, songs. And you can hear actual music coming from the songs portals, invigorating you, blessing your every action. And Harkwell slumps to his knees, weeping, as he physically pulls the life force out of Brightholm. And we will end the session there, as it is 11:12.
Oh my god.
My wife is not happy about this. We'll start the next round. We'll start the next session with Davros's action and Jonas's as well, and then we'll continue from there. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and catch you later.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's going to end the session for us. It is a little past 11 o'clock, and we try to play from 8 to 11. We kind of have a hard deadline with some family commitments and stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. And he disconnected me. Cool. So, if you guys enjoy, watching the narrative that we have growing here in the story and everything, please follow me on Twitch here. Follow me on Twitter. You'll get updates, when we're going live and everything. We're trying to do this every Thursday from 8 to 11. This is a mini campaign, so we probably only have a handful of sessions left, and then we are going to try to potentially build future campaigns, because I think everybody involved so far is really, really enjoying it. Dan is a very creative soul and loves this kind of outlet for storytelling, so I think he's down for doing some future campaigns and stuff, so this is cool. Ted, thank you so much for chatting with us and being present. Greatly appreciate the biddies. And just like Dan said, if you're down, we would love to get you in a session or two, or maybe even as one of the PCs for the next campaign, if we can put one together. All right. So thanks again, everybody. Appreciate it. Hopefully we will be back next Thursday from 8 to 11, and otherwise, we will catch you guys. All right, I appreciate it, and thanks for tuning in. All right. Also, I'm supposed to host someone for this community of Royale streamers, it's called. So I am going to find somebody. If you guys don't mind hanging out for a second, and try to find. Let's see. Oh, some RPG gameplay, I think. Let's see here, Apex. No. No. Wow. Why are all these messages coming? This is absolutely. The bots are absolutely broken for this community. Dragon Quest. Coyote Wildfire. Alright, I'm gonna throw Coyote Wildfire a host here. So let's hop in here and do this. Host Coyote. Kurt Skype Wildfire. Alright. Oh. Guess he's not available. Creative destruction. Being lazed. What the fuck is this thing doing? Brother. Dragonol. Cross out. Fortnite. I don't know what this thing's doing. Try to see if the extra hot dog. See if that'll work. Host. Extra large hot dog. Oh my god, none of this is working. Alright. Well, that was debunk.